exist.
Damn, I thought this was supposed to be a one-prep game.
100. Sorry, I misspoke.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Well, time to fight God again, I guess.
To fight God again. Again.
Well, that would be bad because now he has like 400 health.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be that God.
Hey.
Brain power. How am I forgetting where to type things? There we go.
Let's make it one of the TOS ones, S ones, where you can just have a small philosophical argument with them and defeat them, rather than actually
good.
having to like do a bunch of phaser stuff.
We just have to
But
tell
they'll
the robot to divide by 0.
You have to do
Yeah, we just have to tell the God about philosophical quandaries. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, you do that, and then you do a Kirk two-handed punch.
Yeah. Which somehow incapacitates the being who's able to, make a hand the size of a spaceship.
Just throw a rock on.
That's what the second fist is for. The second fist
That's
is that much stronger.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe the green space hand would have done better if it had a second hand to double fist attack with.
And
Yeah, it turns out, like...
And with that, hello everyone. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and we are playing another episode of Halanak Station, a Star Trek adventure, in Star Trek Adventures, I should say, made by Modifius. And we are looking forward a bit after the events of the raid on the planet Upantar, and the safe return of the USS Da Vinci A over at Upantar Station. Halanak Station. The name of the show. How do we forget these things? I blame them. We look to one of the various offices and conference spaces, which have been booked by Starfleet for a rather special occasion, in the form of the promotion of 2 of its officers. One of which to a proper captain's rank, sorely deserved, and one who is ascending to a lower but still flag officer rank.
He must be dying inside for that one.
Not even the lower one. The lower half of the lower one.
And actually, I have your thing wrong.
I had another promotion for some reason.
That's wrong as well. Is Ensign still Ensign Ven? Was he sitting on a promotion as well?
I thought Ven spent for Lieutenant JG.
Yeah, last episode.
He did.
You did? Oh, there you
Oh
go.
my god. So is he going to be up there too?
Oh god, it's gonna be so awkward. He's like, I am not ascending to a high enough rank for this.
Yeah.
Normally we just do these ones during our coffee break, but
Yeah, I was gonna say they do like a small ceremony with like 5 other ensigns who are getting the promotion. They don't do this with the captain and an admiral.
That's one of those like, well, we're already here, right? Might as well get them all done because they've all been in the pipeline for the last week or so.
Question of, do you do them in ascending or descending order?
You would always do lower to higher.
Yeah.
presumably there will be like other no-name NPCs that are also getting promotions.
Yep. So this is largely a Starfleet affair, but of course, the Lieutenant Captain of the Star, Serena, is invited to attend this rather joyous occasion for Starfleet because various officers have acquitted themselves rather well in their duties here at Halanak Station with the recent crisis, but have managed. Some who were assigned to Da Vinci A. Some are being transferred off to other places. Some are transferring off of Halanak Station because of other duties. Some to the Project Enduring Friendship program that's going on, not more than a sector away. But there's new people coming in as well, so there's lots of busyness going on. Not the least of which is that you know very well, Serena, that they have Parliament of the Free Information Sphere has recognized the above and beyond efforts by Starfleet to do what they can in maintaining and assisting in the maintenance of harmony and saving lives of Free Information Sphere citizens. Although, you know that unofficially, there are certain members of Parliament that are irritated that they failed in the mission. Although that's being thrown at the Harmonizer. The Harmonizer is kind of falling on that grenade a bit more. He's doing this circuit right now, rather than being here.
The apology tour.
The apology tour, like, it's me. It was my job. Don't yell at Starfleet. It was me. And actually, I would have done a better job if, because he's not going to just bow his head. He's going to start barking for stuff.
Yeah, well, I would like to ask you a question.
Sure.
I know there are some isolationists amongst us who are not big fans of the presence of Starfleet. How are they feeling about the fact that we now have a full-on admiral on board the station?
Insight command, difficulty of 2.
Insight command. Focus in politics.
Yep.
All right.
These are updated.
You have 600 threat?
Mm-hmm.
He was at 400 before you joined.
Oh, all right. Well, at this point, we've hit threat hyperinflation, so just have 3 more. Like it doesn't matter at that point. What are you spending that 3 more on?
Oh, you mean 30 more?
Well, that's diff 2, so I hit it, but I can't do anything about that comp. So.
Don't worry, I'll just take it as a threat.
Okay.
Hello, Turtle Singer. Fan favorite W. Oh, yes. Because everyone's names is in the Discord except for Winchester's Discord name.
Look, with all this inflation, maybe we just need the help of Arillis.
We're making the Weimar Republic look stable over here.
To bring you up to speed, Ryloff, you're currently at a big get together for the promotion after the promotion ceremonies for Lieutenant Junior Grade Ven, Captain Thralic, and Rear Admiral Penn.
Lovely.
Oh, and since you're there, well, it's only fair that someone else gets to be there too.
Oh.
As the 2 fleet liaisons assigned to Halanak Station are also observing this momentous occasion and joining the festivities. Although, notably, various security officers seem to be avoiding role, but other Starfleet officers are making a point to talk to them to kind of be like, we're not, we're trying to be in a good spirit. Let's not be rude.
So, about that information?
I was hoping you'd forget. No,
I never forget.
Wait, engineering?
Oh. That's embarrassing. I hit the command button, but it's only 1 higher. Does that change anything?
It
No.
does not.
No.
I just...
But yeah, you are able to determine that, for the most part, there's some parts of the free information sphere that are appreciating the fact that it seems that they recognize that this is Starfleet taking this area more seriously. Of the 3 information sphere members, they aren't very hierarchical, as you know. They have these hierarchies more an assignment of role to communicate with aliens. But they recognize, they've now reassigned the purpose of the Pend to be a rear admiral and the purpose of Thralek to be the captain. They recognize that shift. It's not as impressive to them, but at the same time, they're not terribly upset by it because again, the titles don't mean as much to them. The more militant-minded among the in theory, who, although individualistic, do recognize power dynamics a lot more than the others. You know that among some of the in theory members of the military are keeping a closer eye on Thralek and Pend than they otherwise would have. Like, they're asking more questions about them than they were before. They're trying to puzzle. They're talking with more security officers and Starfleet people to kind of get a clearer picture of exactly what Starfleet is here for. Although, as far as you're aware, the Starfleet's here for the stated reason that they're here, rather than some ulterior motive. So mixed, I guess, is the best answer to that, but largely unbothered.
Largely positive. Okay.
See, all of you see some ships, some small craft passing by out the window, heading off to one of the moons of Opentar, most likely, as business and travel is booming around Halanak Station. Drinks are on hand, soft music is playing. Everyone's in their dress uniforms. Normally on a promotion ceremony, you might, even for a commander to captain, you'd still wear your service uniform, but for an admiralty, you dress up because a new flag officer is going to be present. So everyone's dressing in their whites with gold and stuff. The exception being the officers who are promoted, because they're highlighting that you three were promoted. Although, Ven, this is way over formal for a lieutenant junior grade.
Right.
Like, a very popular commander making captain might get this kind of pomp and circumstance. Admirals definitely get this kind of pomp and circumstance, unless they really make a fuss about it not being so for cultural reasons. But yeah, you're kind of, black tie event when you just have your nice shirt on. You know what I mean? So the fact you're not in formal dress is kind of off.
To be fair, Vin is like a multiple Medal of Honor recipient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why no one's bothered by it.
Yep.
Whether Ven's bothered by it's up to him, really. But no one's bothered by him being there. It's like, no, he's a Cochrane. He has a Cochrane medal. He's a Medal of Honor. He's highly decorated.
Yeah, he probably has some. They probably have some like service uniform equivalent of like a medal thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna go up and approach Ven.
Actually, I have to be right back. So.
Well, never mind then.
Ven
hiding.
disappears into the refresher.
That's
Oh
how,
yeah, I
that's how
absolutely
uncomfortable he
believe
is
it.
here.
That'll happen later then, I guess.
I would like to carouse with all of these members of the Starfleet and see if I can, ingratiate myself with them. I had no role in the decor for this event. I let Starfleet handle that. But, I still want to get in good graces with my new allies.
No, screw that. You're part of the station. Penn would have made you do the decorations because he knows you love banners.
Okay, in that case, she has done her research, and it resembles something closer to like an 8-year-old's birthday party mixed with a military ceremony. A lot of brightly colored banners and streamers, and a big, a nice big sign that says, congratulations to our officers or something like that. It's, a little bit chintzy, but she's doing her best.
Wonderful.
Probably like a very slowly moving, like little, I forget what you call them, like the balls that shoot out like bright lights. Because she's heard that the mammalia forms they like their spinning neon lights.
Wonderful.
In the interior, have plenty of those darn things. They have like various shades and colors. You want flashing lights? We got flashing lights for days.
They are flashing lights.
Yes.
Quick question, Gina.
Hmm.
How healed are my two arms?
They are currently. I guess HR is more like life form resources. That'd be true, chat. You're right. You're right, Turtle Singer. You have to include all the Sophantics. As for your arms, well, I actually would say to you that your arms. Actually, you know what? Give me fitness medicine difficulty of 2.
All right.
Let's see how that turned out back then. That's what I'll do.
It's like, if it was a simple break, that would be one thing, but it was every bone was shattered, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
You had noodle arms.
Yeah, I had complete noodle arms, and presumably hands, too.
No, they left them
so-
intact so they have weight.
It'd still be okay. Take a threat.
But it's all in one chunk. Yeah, I'll take 1/3 turn.
Fitness medicine. All right, I don't need to ask for focus. Well, that stand.
You are actually in possession of 2 prosthetic arms, as they were unable to save your arms from the damage. Normally, they put it through like a bone knitter and regenerate that way, but the amount of damage and the fact you moved around and you were active for quite a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Turtle Singer. An evil god basically blasted poor Captain Thralick's arms a couple episodes ago, but she's still okay. She's alive, so there's that.
Just about to say, I'd like to go over to the captain if possible.
I am also back.
Yeah.
So, She, how are you dealing with it?
It's a lot to get used to. Well, everything's a lot to get used to, I guess. Which part precisely?
Yeah, you've got the promotion and you've got the new modifications, but both really.
Well, I wasn't anticipating a captaincy quite this soon, I'll admit. But I think Starfleet knows what they're doing, and I think I do too. Well, I should hope so.
Well, in that aspect, I have every confidence in you, so I expect you to do great things.
As for the arms, less sure on that one, sir.
Yeah. You're going to have a bit of trouble at first. I had the same with my leg. But eventually, you won't even notice. So, just take your time with them.
Right. Well, I was meaning to talk to Ben about that. He's been adjusting to it longer than I have.
The only advice I'd give you is when I first lost my leg, I didn't handle it the best, but I handled it by myself. You're in a much better position. If you need to reach out to medical or a counselor, or just an an engineer if you need,
Yeah.
do so.
Yeah. No, I have a couple sessions booked. It's a lot to adjust to. Especially because I also found out at the same time that I can do this. And her glass is kind of levitating in front of her face.
Ooh.
Ah, you're a psionic as well.
Well, it's already that, but something with the whole trip out there, maybe some trauma from the arms, I don't know.
Well, no matter how it came about, or how you decide to go with it, sure it'll come in handy. Whether we know how or not, but I'm sure it'll come in handy when we most need it.
Yeah, of course, sir. Well,
It will surely come in handy when we have to parlay with the spoon-bending species.
Well, I'd give you a punch in the shoulder, but I don't think you're quite there yet.
no, sir. But congratulations on Admiralty.
Yeah, I put in the request thinking, oh yeah, at some stage I've got to do it. Didn't expect him to say yes though.
Why'd you put in the request then, sir?
If we're being completely honest, eventually when I retire, in whatever form that is, it'll provide better benefits for me and Jaishu. And when I'm focusing after this, it'll be primarily on her and what I can provide. So
Yeah.
if I can get a bit more out of these ranks, it's just more I can provide for her.
Are you thinking about going into diplomacy or politics or something then, sir?
If I got into politics, the Federation would crumble.
Well, I can't say that Captain Myth was an expected choice either, and we saw how that went.
Well, I'll keep an eye on it, but I don't know what comes next. In this case, you'll really have to see.
Fair enough.
But if you want to speak, I saw you eyeing up with the new junior lieutenant. I assume you want to talk to him, so I'll let you. I'll go over a important conversation.
Right, I meant to congratulate him as well.
Talora has so many prosthetic limbs to ask to play with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whatever. Lieutenant.
Captain.
I think it's long overdue. Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't know. It's sometimes it feels like it all came so quickly.
Well, I can see that, but it's not necessarily the time you spend at a rank that matters. It's what you do there. And you've done a lot, for good and ill, but you've done a lot.
Yeah, that is certainly an accurate statement. And Ven looked. So are both of Throllic's arms?
Yep.
And and they
from
are
the shoulder down.
Whoa.
and they are obvious cybernetics just by virtue that they are trying to get up and moving around fast, they can start getting coloration and other stuff in the future. But they're like, well, if we keep at this, you'll be spending your promotion ceremony in the med bay, so we'll give you something that works now. We can worry about making it more. We can worry about the aesthetics later.
Right. If I may be so informal about it, Captain, I have to say, and he holds up his prosthetic hand. Welcome to the club.
Yeah. It's not exactly one that you want to be joining, but glad to have the company.
Yeah, and by my hearing of things, he tore off my arm too, so fortunately it was the one that was already gone.
Right. Well, 2 clubs then. The limbs massacred by a demigod and the prosthetics. Weird clubs we're in.
Yeah, very, very weird clubs. But that's that's kind of Starfleet for you, I guess. A lot of weird clubs.
Starfleet is a weird club.
Certainly true, Lieutenant.
Ugh,
Definitely didn't join for the safety of the fleet.
that is that is gonna take some getting used to.
You're telling me.
And Ben sort of takes a turn, sees Kobuk and Saral, says, if you don't mind, Captain, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna go,
Go on.
Thank you. And the two of them are both wearing, their dress uniforms. Ben is not, so it's super weird.
Yep. I see an Admiral Trailblazer over there.
And 2 other captains.
Oh, fascinating.
Cap-
Oh boy.
The Cation, Captain Atheton, walks over to Centurion Ryloff. Centurion?
What can I do for you, Captain?
Oh, I thought I should make the rounds and say hello to one of the 2 fleet liaisons to Starfleet in the Shackleton. One of 3, anyway.
A vague little look off his shoulder for a second, then back at that. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, there are 3 of us now.
So, I hear that you're assigned to the Da Vinci in particular? You're the XO over?
That would be correct.
What made you move over to, back to the Romulan Navy, if you don't mind me asking? I know you lot don't like prying too much, but, I mean, what else are we going to talk about? How white our uniforms are and how they have very off shades that are very distracting to anyone with a wider eye set.
And it is a liaison's job to talk more. No, when I left, there was no visible change. Part of that was because I was deliberately isolated on a listening station, but that is a different matter. What the Navy's currently trying to achieve is to rectify many, many issues that have been slowly growing in the Empire.
Well, I wish I could say that. Well, you know how it is with Starfleet. We have to stay out of it. Internal conflict, but if there's any promise I can give to you, the Anti-Piracy Task Force doesn't will not turn a blind eye to so-called loyalists of Romulus privateers. He shakes his head.
The notion is appreciated, Captain.
But feel free to communicate to your senators that I do have to remain neutral, so I hope they don't get any ideas.
Of course, nothing too out of the way. I don't believe there's been any incidents recently in this area, unless I'm mistaken.
Nothing major, no. Minor skirmishes, odd ship movements, that sort of thing. But the oddest one was, he motions with his snout, is the sub-commander over there. The Tal Shiar doing diplomatic outreach to the free information sphere. No one saw that coming. Especially with you here. We didn't think they'd bother sharing the same station.
Especially with me here. To curtail the opposition at any opportunity is a very Tal Shiar move, though it's often done more subtly. If you do require information regarding what might help your task force, do feel free to ask, though I'm personally not an intelligence officer. There might be something I'll be able to tell you.
I'll have my executive officer send you over a list of requests. I admit I was hoping to pull on your connection to see if maybe we can get more access to who actually is legitimately supposed to be moving around and who's actually a pirate. With all due respect to the might and majesty of the Romulan Navy, to Starfleet censors, it all comes off the same shade of green. And one doesn't want to hesitate when it comes to tense engagements in nebulas at point-blank range.
An understandable sentiment.
All right, sorry to disrupt your fun at the party. You have a nice day.
Not a problem at all, Captain.
That
Enjoy yourself.
walks off to go talk with somebody else, asking for more favors, as the Thetans using this opportunity to drum up connect with anyone and everyone outside his task force to figure out what everyone else knows that he doesn't. But he's being nice about it. He makes the overtures, but you know, he's very much still a captain on a mission.
He has an entire intelligence officer.
Well, there's the unofficial channels.
Never mind.
There's unofficial channels and there's official channels. He's trying to be a little of both.
Yeah.
I am on duty, but technically it is just a get-together, so you know. There just so happens to be a fleet liaison with the Romulan state and the Tal Shiar, so you know, he could pop by real quick. What is everyone else up to during this little party?
What positions do Elthat and Joan and Trailblazer have right now?
In what respect?
What's their current assignments as far as the general Starfleet officer corps is concerned? Not like their secret stuff, but
What their where they are in the organization, yeah. Athaton is part of the anti-piracy task force that's been assigned to the Beta Quadrant. He's been at this for 8 years now. Basically a small fleet of ships. He's technically a fleet captain. He's a breveted fleet captain, in effect, but he darts around. Mainly, primarily anti-slavery, but it's kind of bled over to anti-piracy in general, which gives him a lot more flexibility to move around. Captain Joan is actually from the 10th Expeditionary Fleet. He is from the Admiralty out on the Rimward exploratory expansions, being led by like the Expedition and other such ships. He's one of the, I believe the last I had him was he was strategic operations he was one of the strategic operations officers for one of the rear admirals. So he's really out of his way in his case. As for Trailblazer, he is the admiral in command of the 10th Expeditionary Research and Development Auxiliary Fleet, which, as an engineer, you do know that they are a highly experimental fleet. They go out they try to find safe places out in the Shackleton to experiment with various ship technology. And they're the ones who actually encountered the Opentar first. Like, they ran into the Free Information Sphere and started negotiating rights to do research, and then found out, oh, it's not just the Opentar. There's like 3 star systems, and they're a whole, like, that's way beyond his purview. He didn't have he kind of has to move around for various, think, a tactical testbed fleet, I guess is one way to put it. Though they do engage in Starfleet missions in general, but they try to stay out of the thick of things because their ships have classified information on them. Also, Trailblazer's the captain of the Victoria, the first Starfleet time ship.
Then Haifa will go speak with Admiral Trailblazer in a blatant attempt for making connections for future career maneuvers.
You do notice that he is speaking with Sub Commander Rule. Do you try to wait for him to move away, or do you try to ask him to step away for a second, or do you pull the Sub Commander in as well?
No. Yeah, if they're talking and it doesn't seem like a private conversation, then I'll join them. But if
yeah, he's making no efforts to make it. I mean, Rule's being a Romulan agent about it, being very quiet, speaking in hushed tones. Trailblazer is not. He's speaking very clearly. His mercurial eyes kind of not looking in anywhere particular, but he seems relatively calm, not disturbed. Although getting closer, you can tell that he is observing Rule in detail a bit.
From what I, the player, know, I'm going to guess there's not really anything on Trailblazer or his species that anyone outside of Trailblazer knows, right?
There's some preliminary knowledge about the Alcaran species, the fact he's been with Starfleet for over 100 years. He is the sole member of his species that is part of Starfleet, as part of the treaty agreement.
Oh, then I may be wrong. It may be the other ones that we have no contact with.
The Aldemona, yeah, no. The only people who would know that are the Achilles, really, and the Gungnir, because they know about them. But yeah, the secret of the Aldemona is very narrowed. But the Alcarans are known. They're a known species by Starfleet, in so much for what little the Alcarans authorize. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll wait for their conversation to wrap up, and then I will. Haifa will attempt a semi-formal, Alcaran greeting.
Presence command, difficulty of 2.
Cultural studies. Cultural studies, GM?
Yes.
Take a threat.
Certainly. As part of the greeting, you look him straight in the eye, and you make a show of showing both your hands empty, that you're you hold them up to about waist height or so, and with your palms up raised, and just kind of stare at him for a second to let him get a good look at your eyes, and then he kind of stares at you and kind of returns the gesture at you, indicating that he is carrying no secrets, and he has no weapons in hand, at least.
Haifa thinks on It's nice to engage with other people's culture and then in the spirit of camaraderie, but also an entirely empty and useless gesture when done by a hologram, because I could just make my hand a knife.
Yeah.
It mean the gesture means nothing except
It's
its
symbolism.
cultural relevance. Yeah. I try to engage in conversation about the Victoria and what I've heard about it, and ask him how well it flies and if they've worked any or found any improvements to the cooling block. Very technical discussion.
Presence engineering difficulty 2. Rule actually gets very animated and starts asking some questions too.
Oh wait, I'm not. I'm thinking I'm just talking about stuff that's general knowledge. I'm not bringing up anything that's secret, am I?
No. And I imagine, unless you roll a comp, then you might accidentally, but
Okay.
you would know enough not to say anything. And Trailblazer would know as much. If you roll a complication, Trailblazer might cut you off and go, let's not talk about that, huh?
Either EPS power systems, because I brought up the heat transfer block, or QSD on the idea that I'm familiar with unusual propulsion systems.
I'd take EPS here.
Yeah. 605 makes it meaningless, so take a threat.
Certainly. Generate a momentum. Well, we have done some advancements, so we don't have to so we can actually wear the full uniforms again. The overheat inside the main core was, frankly, rather ludicrous. But now it's getting to the point where we don't have to worry about EVA suits and heat shielding as much. Well, I thought it was displaced. Says Roll, and Trailblazer just looks at him. It is, and then looks back at Iva. Unfortunately, I don't know if we'll be able to expand the core, the endo cooling system into other star frames, given its unique nature. But I am hoping to. I have been trying to talk with the Admiralty about looking at the California class as the new model. Something as big as, say, the Da Vinci. I don't know if I can scale it up. It almost seems, whenever we seem to add the extra blocks, it adds to certain complications.
Have you attempted scaling it down?
Well, then it becomes a power balance and warp bubble issue, and he goes on and on to talk about how it goes and stuff like that. And he's being very careful to say it in such ways that it's stuff. He's saying it in ways that he's referencing things that you can at least piece it together, but he never straight out says technical stuff around Rule. You get the feeling he's being completely honest, startlingly so.
Oh, he had one too many.
No.
No.
It's a species.
Alcarans are always honest. They don't lie.
Right. Okay. As a species, they've all had one too many.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Yes.
Correct.
Because they can see, they have limited ability to see in the future, right? So it's hard to lie. I would like to see if I can convince him to share either technical data or maybe an engineer who's worked on this project who needs like Stardock experience transferred or something, so, like some advantage from his knowledge or his staff to help me on the civilian QSD ship. pertaining to the heat block or general expertise his staff has.
Oh, presence command difficulty of 2. Rule tries to do the same, and like the True Empire would appreciate, and I'll save you the spiel, but Trailblazer says, no, I don't think that would be very appropriate. Just very flatly with him. It's like, you get the feeling that for all his niceties, he is being incredibly formal around Rule, but Rule doesn't seem to be able, as Rule sometimes politely stops trying to step away from your conversation, Trailblazer stays right with him. Very gently, just following him as if it's nothing at all, while still maintaining the conversation with you, but every so often throwing a line at Rule so Rule can't just step away without literally running away from the conversation.
Would you take the trait Project Manager? Because I am very descriptive in exactly what would be helpful to the project, rather than speaking in general terms of...
Like, I don't need your chief
help.
engineer, but, this kind of guy, that kind of guy.
Yeah, this exact guy, or like this exact amount of help is what I could use.
Oh, heck, I probably have someone in the fleet I could use, sure. How about this guy and that guy?
Systems integration, power dynamics specialist with at least 3 years of training on a system that's been out for 2 years.
Yeah, I think I have 4 or 5 of those. Like, wait, what? Why do you have 4 or 5 of those? We're the experimental Navy.
We're the time travel ship.
Starfleet Protocol as a focus.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spend that momentum. Oh no.
Oh no.
Spend that momentum when I get back.
Well, I mean, I have the people, but the problem is they're not up for cycle until next year, maybe even 2 years. I'm not sure that's going to be terribly useful to you. I mean, I can start working it out with my staff, but I don't know if the kind of people you're asking for, I'm not sure I can really get to you in a timely manner, but I can certainly try.
Yeah, I thank him and tell him it's not necessary. I mean, we'll be finished with the project, and I probably won't even be serving on this station at that time.
Well, you never know. Then again, maybe as you say, maybe you'll get it done rather quickly. In fact, Subcommander, you're an expert on engineering, and then he gets him talking about, tries to probe him for information about Romulan ship specs. And Rule very politely responds, and you can very quickly tell Rule's a bit overwhelmed because an admiral is just on him.
Yeah, Hypha will move away, somewhat deflated, not getting his help, but I'll add this positive conversation into my algorithm for predicting promotion chances, and see it go up by 0.3% this year and be pleasantly satisfied.
If that conversation is done, I know that both Varen Rule is an officer I need to keep an eye on because of the stupid Romulan politics from 1,000 billion light years away that I've been dragged into. And this guy is like the most senior Starfleet officer I've spoken to face to face. So, yes, when I see Haifa leave, I will sit at their booth and, and I will ingratiate myself, Hi, I'm the Lieutenant Captain of the Star Serana. I've been, I'm so happy to work with the Starfleet. I hear you do great work at the 10th Fleet. And, essentially try to worm myself into getting this guy to like me.
Presence command, difficulty 1. As you learn very quickly that Trailblazer seems to be rather fond of the free information sphere. He finds it to be very similar to his home polity.
Yeah, focus in Upentari etiquette.
Yep.
All right. You said diff 1, right?
Yep.
Well, threat hyperinflation and all. Take a threat.
Certainly. Well, you succeed, and I don't believe you were here on Halanak Station when I was here last. Are you newly assigned, Lieutenant Captain?
Yeah, yes. I was for a long time in data analysis and other information-sensitive topics on board the planet. It was a recent choice to assign myself to the station, up-and-coming officer for up-and-coming assignment.
Oh, between you and Rule here, you must have a lot to talk about when it comes to examination of data sets and various polynumerical systems. And Rule just kind of blinks that he just threw that out of nowhere. He's like, "Oh, damn it! I'm in the conversation again."
Oh, yes. Polynumeric sequences are my favorite. I was recently, analyzing, some suspicious irregularities in the tax rate on grain exports that required me to double check the legal index and successfully confirm that we were losing out on tens of thousands of units of currency every year on a small mistake in the tax enforcement system. But I'm sure being the rear admiral of a science and development ship has its interests too. What brings you all the way out to our station? I have to say I'm a little bit surprised that people went all the way out of here to come to see Penn's promotion.
The Rear Admiral Pend is somewhat of a legend in the 10th Expeditionary. And between myself, I see Captain Thatton's here, and Captain Joan over there, we've all served alongside him in some capacity or another. Although the trip is not quite so far for me. I'm already in the area to begin with, so a quick jaunt to Halanak Station is to see a fellow officer ascend is not much effort on my part. Besides, it gives me an excuse to go to go visit Upentar again, so which is always a fun time.
You enjoy Upentar?
Oh, very much so. I'm planning on going on a hiking tour tomorrow, actually, with Milano. The modeled one with the purple spots and the green streaks.
Do I know who he's talking about?
This person's infamous for almost to borderline harassing tourists to go on tours. And everyone has to remind them, no, not everyone is quite so gregarious as we are or xenophilic. What you think is being friendly is coming off as a little creepy, so just tone it down a bit, stop scaring the tourists. Everyone in the Great Slime kind of knows who that is, and it's like, well, but they really like Upentar. They want to show people on foot, because shuttle's not the real thing, and on and on and on.
Yeah. Well, I must recommend the living crystal outcrops in the southwest. For those with feet, it is quite a hike to reach them, but it's worth it in the end. Just standard hiking procedure: bring water, bring food, remember your first aid techniques, don't aggravate the predators. I believe it's breeding season soon. All of the standard techniques. I must say though, not many from the Alpha or Beta quadrant seem super interested in our planet. Why? What has brought you over here?
No. Rule's been a bit
even screwed.
What's up?
Rule slowly started wheeling around trying to get Thralic in. It's like, nope, no. Silent reaching out of, please don't leave me with this guy again. Damn it, he's still there.
Yeah.
Well, I thought...
Rule, I could ask you the same question.
Oh, of course you do.
Romulus is great this time of year. Now, what brought you to our fine station? Trailblazer said we must be close, but quite honestly, I don't know you very well. So why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, huh?
Oh.
Well, there's not much I can't. And as that conversation goes on, and Rule does not escape because now there's two of them are talking to him.
It's in stereo. Suffer.
Thorlek, you come over to the name of the species. Rysian. The Rysian Captain Joan.
I'll approach him and say, Captain Joan, it's been a while.
Years now. Glad to see you finally got your 4th pip.
Thank you. So, what's brought you all the way out here?
Oh, Rear Admiral, player forgot it. Joan would not. Grennan, there we go. Rear Admiral Grennan wanted to pay his respects, but he's been tied up on some incident on the Rinder Station, so I've come to send my congratulations to you all, really. And he asks that you guys come by Rinder Station sometime when you're done. He quoted some play or another, but having your fun, I think, is the short answer to it, really.
Frolic will shrug and then wince slightly.
But yeah, I was stopping on Ranger Station and touching base with the Shackleton operations with the 10th Expeditionary. We're looking at moving some resources into the Beta Quadrant, so... I also will have to do some paperwork once this is all done with and do some reading, which... It's nice to get out of Ranger Station for a bit.
All things considered, not the worst duties.
No. I heard you got into some excitement, though. First day on the job and you're already dealing with some sort of crisis or another?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be asking the Admiral to head back out there after this. There's a species of pre-warp beings who got displaced due to the experiments of the Savix Cast. Well, that and interference from a higher dimensional entity. Don't know where they are, but I know they're out there on a new planet, and I don't think much effort was given for their safety or comfort.
It's extra dimensionals for you. I mean, not to overgeneralize, but every time I've run into a hyperspace being, it's just been one headache after another. Even the nice ones.
Yeah. So, gonna try and head back out there, do some crisis response if we have to, minimize interference if we can, but they were transported entirely off of their planet and onto a brand new one. It's wild.
Thralic, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Go for it.
He kind of pulls you away from the group, from everyone else a little bit further.
Yeah.
Not hard, just gently touching at you. So, do you have any idea what possessed Rear Admiral Pend to bring the Tal Shiar on station?
Don't know yet. I wasn't on station when it happened. I can only assume it was for a good reason. The Admiral does know his way around the various underbellies of intelligence. But I'm not overtly pleased to have them here.
I've heard of this rule a couple times in the 10th. Yeah. A bit of a analyst's analyst. But when he goes on field work, he becomes very difficult to deal with.
Good to know. I know we've got a political balance going on there, what with my executive officer. Which, well, I thought it would be a nice outreach. Turns out it's embroiled us in all of this.
Well, neutrality has its benefits, but doesn't make anything easy.
Well, I have my own opinions on neutrality, but they're perhaps not for this ceremony.
Perhaps not.
Pleasant catching up with you, Captain.
I better go say hello to the Admiral. Good day.
Good luck with that.
Lieutenant, good job. Captain Joan kind of randomly pats you on the shoulder, as a lot of officers keep doing that to you randomly.
Yeah. And every time he keeps getting surprised by it. Because it's always when he turns his back.
You're getting the feeling this is somewhat of a hazing from the captains at this point. They seem to be doing this on purpose.
Yep.
The two of the ensigns, as he walks away, Sorrel and Kobok just give... Sorrel hides it well, but you can tell that from her tone, and Kobok's a little more vocal about it, that they are both mildly irritated that they have to come slightly to attention every time a captain comes by or the rear admiral comes by, and it's like, oh, geez, can we just relax?
Yeah, Kobok has been very quiet and kind of just nursing his shrink all night, but at a certain point he's going to, look at you and offer a hand and say, "You did good, Lieutenant Ven. I am proud of the officer that you are becoming."
Hey, no need to stand on ceremony, Kobok. Next time it'll be you two.
I become less and less confident every day. At a certain point, one must recognize reality. You are a better officer than most of us will ever dream of becoming.
Hey, that's not true. I've made my fair share of screw-ups. We all do.
Rear Admiral Pend.
Ah, Joan, it's good to see you again. He'll reach out for a handshake.
He shakes your hand and nods ahead at Jaishu. And you notice he pauses as he looks at her for a second. Like, there's a half beat of him not seeming to recognize her right away. And then he looks back to you. Right. Well, didn't think... Admiral Grennan sends his regards. He apologizes for not being able to show up himself, but... some nonsense with the Gungnir going on about not too long ago, so... off I am.
Well, something's usually going on with the Gungnir, and with Grennan not here, we don't have to listen to some operatic speech of nonsense, so it's a positive.
You know, if you study Shakespeare, it starts to make a lot more sense. Although, apparently, he keeps referencing some Earth author, so now I have to read up on that as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give that a hard pass. But I would like to introduce you to my fiancée, Commander Jaishu.
I believe we've met, haven't we? I don't believe so, no, Captain? Oh. Back on Deep Space Arcania, no? No? Sorry, you just have one of those faces. She kind of gives him a nod and a look, and... Right, so... Must have been a bit of a... I do have to wonder at your, I mean, every cult, infinite diversity, infinite combination. However, I do wonder at your choice of decor, given the formality of this ceremony, there, Admiral?
Yes. Once you speak to the Lieutenant Captain of the Stars, they really enjoy banners and decorations.
Is that like an Upentari thing, or... I don't know much about them, so...
I think it's just a them thing. So, and, they enjoy it. So, and I don't really care. So why not?
Well, as long as you're not bothered.
It's going to take a lot more than colourful decorations to bother me.
What, the fact that everything here is non-alcoholic doesn't bother you?
Well, I keep that in my bar.
I cannot believe that Starfleet authorized you to have a personal bar? I mean, how do you have time for both your job and the bar?
I don't, essentially. I've got Jaishu's cousin working there, and I've got someone from like the sister family of the Shastrays. So I've got like family working it.
So, bit of good old-fashioned nepotism. I'm kidding.
Oh no, 100%.
Well, I don't think in the Andorian tradition it's nepotism, it's keeping it in the family, or in the Orion tradition for that matter. We all have our dues.
It's that, and after sending Asala off on a new assignment where she had a rough run of it, having a bit of family close by for both of us is a nice change.
Yeah, we finally got her off station, by the way. We got her on another ship, so she isn't piloting shuttles. We thought her transfer was going to go through a lot quicker than that when she moved over, but then the ship she wanted to go on got transferred, and then we have to deal with that particular bureaucratic kerfuffle. So, but it's figured out now. So she has her assignment now, finally on the believe the Firebird, if memory serves me right. Firebird. No, that's not right. Man.
Well, wherever
Freedom
she
class.
is, as long as she's happy, that's all that counts.
We should all be so fortunate.
Yeah. Well, I will probably reach out to you in a little bit, along with Captain Athaton and the Rear Admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Just a collective talk I want to go over, but probably not a conversation to have in a joyous occasion, but one in a little while.
Is everything all right? Says Jaishu.
For once, yes.
Oh. Gon kind of gives her a look for a second and just kind of. Well, very good, Admiral. I'll leave you to your dancing. Sorry to interject.
No worries. Enjoy the party for what it is.
Well, everyone's wearing too much clothes for that, but oh well. Infinite diversity. And he walks off.
What a Chad move to just be like, I wish everyone was naked, and then immediately leave the conversation.
He's a Rysian.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different party for later on. But how are you feeling, Jaishu? Have you settled in?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's everything's just so different here on Halanak, you know? It's and I don't know. I mean, is it really the right fit for me to be your adjunct?
Well, why not? If it's you're skilled enough to do it, it's in some form of way a promotion. We've kind of got round the issue of being out here alone. That's why I invited family from both sides here. It really comes down to, do you feel you can do the job, or is there something else you'd like to do? I'd support whatever you want to do.
No. I mean, if you need help as your adjunct, I won't. I'm not gonna push it away. Just, you know, didn't want you to feel like you had to. You know.
I don't offer jobs to people just because I'm in a relationship with them or the family. I offer them jobs because they're competent.
She
And
nods.
in your case, the most beautiful woman in the universe, but that's neither here nor there.
She smirks. Station operations to Commander Jaishu. She sighs and taps her comm badge. Jaishu here, go ahead. Your presence is requested in operations. Is it really necessary? I'm afraid so, Commander. Very well. I'll be up in a moment. See you in a bit, Bragg. Duty calls. That somebody's having a fancy ceremony.
Oh, I'll save you some of the non-alcoholic beverages.
Please don't.
And she immediately gets kidnapped again.
Yeah, you'll save her some of the wedding cake that has like a topper of all of the different people getting promoted on it that Seirana only learned was not supposed to be appropriate for this kind of 20 minutes before the party started.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, Joan had a slice, much to everyone else's annoyance. He's like, what? Free cake?
I'm gonna step up this collection of junior officers, knowing that I'm going to intimidate them a little bit.
Do you do the tradition of surprise attacking the junior grade?
Oh, absolutely.
God.
Lieutenant. But no. Ensign Kobuk, I actually wanted to talk to you.
Oh, about what? I am not in trouble, am I, Captain? And he kind of
No.
squirms a little bit in his seat.
No, not at all. I just wanted to ask if you've considered the hoplite assignment at all. I got some communication from Lieutenant Commander Izanova. He was asking after you.
Oh, yes. I would greatly appreciate that, Captain. That sounds like an excellent idea. And
All
he's like trying to not smile, but you know, he's looking a little bit like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah. All right then. Just let's reach out. There happens to be a pad nearby and write down some stuff. Here. Oh, what now?
Security alert. Security alert. All personnel to their stations.
Are you kidding me? The day I get one up on Van stands up from his table and finishes his drink and marches away.
And the scene ends with everyone rushing off to their stations. The question that Joan, I'll note that the Thatman and Joan returned to. Joan is here on a shuttle, so he just kind of brings himself to operations unless you want him to just go somewhere else, because he doesn't have his own ship. In Red Alert, he's either supposed to be in his quarters or somewhere useful. He's like, do you want me out of the way? That returns to his ship, because he doesn't know if you guys need help from his ship. Trailblazer goes to his ship, because for the similar reason. Also, he's trying to get out of your way, because this is, and he actually even he even goes out of his way to undock the Victoria and disappear it immediately.
But yeah, John can come up to ops. Any assistance?
We don't know what currently is happening yet, so
Yeah. No, I'm on the Da Vinci.
Yeah, Ven's running alongside Thralic.
Yep.
Because they were together when that kicked in.
Yep.
And as you get to the to station operations, Jaishu kind of stands, starts approaching Rear Admiral Pend. Says, "Sir,
what have we got going?"
we have a security incident on station. Someone's holed up in your bar."
Okay.
Apparently, she says she knows you. What was the name again? It was some Earth language. Sapentia, ma'am. Sapentia.
Oh, she's like a hyperspace being. Okay.
Another one.
Yeah, she's the relative of both Liar and the what's it, Badger.
Is this being explicitly not a relative of them?
Hyperspace being. Sensors scan her just fine. She seems human.
Yeah. They do weird shit. I'll see what they want. I'll start heading down to the bar.
Admiral, Joan kind of steps over. Admiral, it may not be appropriate for a flag officer to put themselves in a barricade situation. The Admiral knows what he's doing, and I know what I'm doing, Commander. Thank you.
Me and the lieutenant captain could go down there, Rear Admiral, and loop you in for your particular expertise.
I believe that would be an excellent course of action.
Sure. Put together a small team, head down, and if need be, link me through comms, and we'll get this sorted.
And perhaps we should let the ships, Rear Admiral Trailblazer's ship and Commander Thralick's ships, know they can stand down.
As there's now 3 ships just hovering outside of Halanak Station.
Yeah, shields up, weapons hot, ready to go.
Yes, you will cause quite a disturbance that I will receive angry letters for if you do not ensure everyone that everything's calm and okay.
Station, go to yellow alert. Ops, open comms to the ships, please.
You see the faces of Captain Thralick, Captain Athaddon, and Rear Admiral Trailblazer.
Seems like it's a 10th dimensional being in my bar. Hopefully it can be taught down for now. Just yellow alert at most. We should be good.
Acknowledge Halanak, says Trailblazer. Alright, I'll sweep around, make sure, and do the rounds with the local ships, make sure everyone's keeping a yellow alert. They're probably not used to Federation security alerts like that. I'll deal with it.
Yeah, Serana butts into the call and says, just please assure the merchant population that everything is okay. The last thing we need is a panic right now.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, we have to deal with like actual capitalists who have markets that could become unstable.
Yep.
Fear.
You must understand that these people are not used to giant Federation warships operating in their territory. You will spook them, and that will make them do silly, stupid things they would regret. Act naturally. And she'll hang up a comm and look at Haifa and say, all right, you and I, let's go handle this before it becomes a problem we can't hide.
Haifa, as the chief engineer, is already looking on a pad, checking on dilithium futures to make sure the ship is not about to be robbed. The station is not about to be robbed. Blind.
Yeah.
Dilithium futures.
Damn it, I was going long on dilithium.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay, what is the standard Starfleet procedure for 10th dimensional beings? I must say this is ever so slightly outside of my wheelhouse. I just didn't want the Rear Admiral getting killed on his first day.
To be honest, a comprehensive review of Starfleet's dealings with 10th dimensional beings is like 5 instances long. Most of those Rear Admiral Penn has been involved in, and it generally involves just arguing with them.
I mean, Admiral focuses of cultural exchange, intelligence operations, and higher dimensional beings.
You must choose one at this point.
Higher dimensional beings.
Wonder why.
Well, for what it's worth, I'll get a security team on it to lock the building down, if nothing else.
I also understand there might be some utility in bladed weapons. Seems to be a thing.
Okay.
The Admiral has tried with higher dimensional beings before.
I'm going to call the Harmonizer's office and try to get a team of Harmonizers to find what bladed weapons they might have to bring into the bar. Not even to be in the bar, but just to lock the bar down. I just don't want people wandering in it.
The joke is, it's probably weapons in the bar.
Give me a presence security difficulty of 2, assisted by station's communication security.
Security difficulty 2. All right, FIS law for a focus. I know what legal code to cite.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
For what it matters, my focus is where my discipline is 1. You
Oh,
said diff
well.
2?
Yeah.
All right, have 3 threat.
Certainly.
Okay, that's enough.
Oh, that's what I've done. Wait, that's the wrong one. Darn it. I'm trying to grab a very particular. There. No. Dang it. You, come
And
here.
see, I was making a general observation about, Pinned being an Eldritch Bunter, but I can see how this is going to come to bite me in the ass later when we actually have to deal with this thing and all we have is a team with bladed weapons.
Station communication security.
Oh, yes.
Okey-doke, I'll get it.
I mean, you told her that bladed weapons might help. So, what else is she going to say?
I mean, I'm being honest. The reports reference Pinned literally kicking things from the beyond to death. So,
Well, if we can't handle it, we'll bring Rear Admiral Pent in. Although I want you to know, it'll be my head if we kill the Rear Admiral on the station.
Does Serena have a head?
Haifa actually disables her head for a second and then says, "Mine too."
Halloween edition.
Then that's it. She does not have a distended head. That's how serious it'll be. They will remove a head that is not disconnected from the body. That's how bad the decapitation will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able
An ice cream scoop to you.
Generate 1 momentum, by the way.
Thank you.
As harmonizers come to the bar and lock it down, and the surrounding part of the level.
Alright, so if we're in the place, I am just going to call out, hello? Are there any 10th dimensional beings in here? We are representatives of the government of this plane of existence, and we would like to negotiate.
Presence security difficulty of 2.
Higher dimensional beings as a focus?
It doesn't help here.
Okay, cultural studies as a focus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As if I've studied this culture. 1 momentum, 2 threat.
You know what generally sounds non-threatening to aliens.
Good
Sure, you
lord.
know what? I'll let that stand. I'm dead.
Amazing.
Incredible.
1 second. You do hit it, though. You gain a momentum. So you do succeed. I just have to figure out how the hell you complicated it.
Twice.
Yeah.
Clearly not carefully.
You notice that the bar, as you peer inside and look around, you notice it has been shot up severely. Bottles knocked over, tables knocked over. There's a couple of bodies on the floor. Some of them are some of the workers that were some FIS workers who were here, helping set up the bar or deliver things. It looks to be primarily non-energy based. There's some energy based fire on some people, but a lot of it seems to be projectile based. Slug thrower type weapons, like the one like your pistols, your mass drivers. Secondly, the floor, it is fairly difficult to move around. You can tell that it'll be very difficult to move around or spot people in there, simply because there's so much debris and so much around that it's kind of hard to move around without being noticed. And there's a lot of places for someone to hide in this rather large area. Carry on, Haifa. Sorry.
Oh,
you do get a response. Sorry.
yeah, I should wait for that.
There's a distinct silence that answers you, Sayrana. until eventually you hear from the one of the speakers near the bar, your infosphere.
What about my infosphere? And I want to gesture for Hyper to come over and see the body.
I would like to request asylum. Someone's trying to kill me, and I'd rather not. I don't really think I can trust Starfleet at the moment. So, if you could just get me protective custody somewhere that isn't Starfleet controlled, I would appreciate it.
Is this person who's trying to kill you in the room with us now?
I don't know. They haven't shot at me yet, but they don't know where I am. Problem is, I don't know where they are anymore. So that's kind of why I'm stuck.
Can you describe them?
They were in Starfleet uniforms. Gold. Didn't have any pips at their neck. And they came at me with bladed weapons. And then, well, it's a rather long story. I'd rather not have it in a broken bar waiting to be shot at. So, if I could just get a safe place out of here, I would
You said they
greatly
were
appreciate it.
injured, right?
Say again?
Sorry, Jim, you said they were injured, right?
Oh, you see there's various injured people in the room. Like they're like
Oh.
like there's people spread out across the area.
Any people matching her description? Her
Uh,
description, the description she gave.
Yep, you see there's some people in gold uniforms. You see there's people in regular clothes, but you do see that some of these people do have bladed weapons next to them, as well as mass drivers that have been modified in some way. Insight security difficulty 2 to notice something.
All right. Starfleet protocol.
Yep.
Spend that momentum. What is going on here? Yeah, that'll stand.
Well. You find that you find your mind, or rather your memory subroutines, wandering a bit, and you find you have a hard time perceiving these people very well. Like your mind keeps drifting every time you try to focus on them for very long. Like you're thinking about random other simulations and formations, so it's hard to really. But you see them, like you sense their visual stimulus, but beyond that, any particulars, the minute you think about it longer, your mind just kind of wanders.
All right. Um,
I'd like to.
I will.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will start to search through this place for someone, because I can't really beam anyone out until I figure out who she was talking about, and I can't really bring a medic in here until I know there isn't someone with a mass driver hiding behind the, nearest bar that's going to shoot them.
You can start moving inside and do. Are you scanning for people, or are you physically walking around and looking behind stuff?
Both.
Give me reason security difficulty of 3 to check this zone in particular.
I'm suspicious that these aren't really Starfleet people. So would you take impersonation?
Mm-hmm.
Take a threat.
Mm-hmm. On the dot. I need to roll challenge dice. Him, just grab him. What's the security rating of this station? 5, 4? Forget.
3.
Oh wow, how pathetic.
There are there are two notable people. A lot of other people have non-lethal injuries. Like they ran into something, or they got knocked over, or they got hit in the shoulder. It's something that they could easily get up and move under their own power to get themselves to safety. They just have to know they can do it. One person is very certainly dead. And there's at least one person of interest who appears to have a weapon in their hand, but when you scan them, you're able to determine that they're not moving. They must have been. And you can see that they have a shoulder wound, so they seem to have been knocked to non-lethal, and they're unconscious on the ground. That person in particular, although your eyes are fooling you, they aren't fooling the tricorder all that well. As you check and double check the tricorder being somewhat of a talisman of your focus, you're able to figure out that this person is wearing the correct colors for a Starfleet uniform, but it's the wrong material. Starfleet uniforms are made of energy resistant and lab safety type stuff. Like it's meant to be. It's not true armor, but it actually is built to a certain standard, so it's useful for day-to-day use. And this person's wearing like a nice mock-up, but it doesn't have any of the safety features that Starfleet uniforms would have. And you notice that there's a distinct lack of... There's like little magnetic strips around the belt area, or the waist area, where people would attach, like, that's where they place your tricorder or your phaser and stuff if you don't have a pocket there. They don't have those. They just have, like, blank spots, which, no, you would have something there on any service uniform. That's how you put your stuff away.
All right. I hit my comm badge and I say, Commander Haifa to Medbay.
Maybe here, go ahead.
I need a medical beam out of the life form next to my comm signal. They are to be treated as a suspect in a violent crime, but they need medical attention. Please coordinate with the harmonizer's office once they've been beamed.
Give me presence medicine, difficulty 2, assisted by communications medicine to help coordinate with medical to figure out where they are. Because they'll ask you some questions like, what's their injuries? What do they look like? Where are they? Stand there. They're trying to get you to help them figure out where the person is. But also, you're the officer on scene, so like, well, what's their injuries? We need to know what we need to account for.
All right. Take a threat.
Certainly.
Starfleet protocol.
Yep.
Oh wow, I got a terrible medicine, but sometimes it just works.
Apparently, you tuned your subroutines regarding emergency medical procedures for first responders. It's like, they're this, that, and to code this. Like, okay, that's easy. And they beam them away. Plus the station as well. Communications medicine.
I would like to look at the hologram and the 10th dimensional being and just say,
oh, you don't see you don't see the 10th dimensional being. They're not here.
Oh, we just hear them.
You hear them over the speakers.
Listen, the FIS is in a position to give asylum to oppressed peoples of all kinds, and we would be willing to hear your asylum request. But I must know, did you harm these people? Is this incident your doing?
Um, Not technically, no, but I did wing some people by accident, yeah. Though I did hit the people who were trying to kill me. Tried not to kill
Please
any of them, but
elaborate.
I think at least one of them's dead. I think I hit him. I hit him somewhere vital.
Okay, perhaps I should rephrase the question.
Please.
What happened here?
I would feel more comfortable talking about that somewhere other than here, given. You can give me presence security difficulty of, or command difficulty of 5. This person's very reluctant to talk about it around Taifa, you notice.
Well, you know what? If I sense that's the hesitancy,
Mhm.
I will simply say, if you would like to discuss this with me alone, I shall return to my office immediately and we can talk about this there.
That does leave me with the problem of how I'm going to get there from here.
You're a 10th dimensional being. You can't navigate to that location somehow.
I'm not sure what you heard about me, but no, that's not something I can do. I would need a teleporter for that, and I get the feeling that with all the shooting that's going on, security's up, so I won't be able to talk to my ship anymore.
You have a ship?
Yes?
Perhaps, Ronnie, you could ask them. I'm thinking if we could find out what she looks like, I could change my appearance to be her and be bait for whatever's trying to get to them. But I'm trying to think of how we would get their description.
Listen, I'm just gonna have to swing for the challenge. Listen, we're willing to help you. We have multiple holograms on staff who could even disguise themselves as you to act as bait for whoever is trapping you. But we need answers. We can't help strange voices in the dark who don't reveal themselves and are involved in murder. You have to meet us on open footing.
And that is
And
annoying, isn't it? It's weird to be on the other side of it.
okay, do I have any directives right now?
Not at the moment. No, you were having
Okay.
you were just having a party 5 minutes ago.
Okay, in that case, okay. First value that could apply. There is nothing that a gift and a firm handshake can't accomplish. On the grounds of I am trying to offer them help, but only if, they come to an agreement and shake my hand as well.
I'll take that, yeah. A very
All right.
open tar way to solve the problem.
Okay, focus in etiquette.
Yeah.
Okay. Haifa, would you want to assist me here?
Sure.
Comp increase.
All right. Okay. So then 2 momentum, 3 threat. I'm just rolling terribly today. Well, that's 3 successes.
You mean 4?
4. I can do math. Yeah, I'm not going to have a milestone that applies here, so can I argue this might be too late because I'm asking this after I made the roll, but could I argue my trait of Seal Fleet Officer lowers the difficulty of the roll because they seem more willing to trust a SEAL Fleet officer than a Starfleet officer.
It's making this conversation possible. If a Starfleet person was talking
Okay.
to them, they wouldn't have talked. They wouldn't have answered.
I make my trait of prestigious in the FIS lower the difficulty on the grounds of like I have enough clout and legitimacy in this organization that people have reason to trust me.
I'd take that. Yeah, you're a name. You're not just another off. You're not just another part of the organization. You're a known one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're that Captain of Stars person, Serena.
The one and only.
And you see a humanoid woman stand up from behind and disappear into the ether. You see a humanoid woman stand up from behind a tossed over couch, pointing a mass driver in your general, mostly at Haifa, but like points. Notices Haifa isn't holding a phaser at the moment, and you see her just kind of scan her gun around to see if anyone else pops out when she does it, and she just kind of waits. And waits.
All right.
And then
I am going to slime my way forward and offer her a appendage to shake.
she holsters the pistol and kind of reaches out to your hand. To your appendage, rather.
Okay. Now that that's been established, why don't we take you to my office and we can talk about this? I must say you are still suspect of a crime. However, that so long as you are accommodating and are telling the truth, that does not impede in your ability to obtain asylum.
I would rather deal with harmonizers than get shot at anymore, so well, I'll certainly take my chances. Lead on, Captain of the Stars.
I appreciate your assistance in this matter, Lieutenant Commander Haifa, and I will escort her all the way back to my office in the Upentari government sector of the place.
I will send a brief back to Pend on what's happened and go back to duty. Oh, after telling the harmonizers they can go in and help the remaining injured.
Yeah. And Throg stepped away, but I look to the Da Vinci and see what you guys are up to as that scene rolls to a close. As you notice that the Thatton ship is currently communicating with the various freighters in the area to let them know everything's all right, and basically briefing them on how Starfleet handles issues, but everything's under control, everything's fine, yada yada. Meanwhile, Trailblazer's ship basically disappears, but every so often, somewhere in the outskirts, you get a ping from them, letting you know where they are, if nothing else.
All right.
Oh, you're back! Hooray!
Yep, just in time for that.
Woohoo!
What are we doing? Question mark.
Yeah, so it's status report, people. That's got a scan of general vicinity, see if anything's off.
Yes, Captain.
Reason science opposed.
Oh.
Boop, 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 boop. Full mit.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what your first roll as Lieutenant Junior Grade is.
Yeah.
Smiley face.
Smiley face.
I can direct you here.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Anything from the Capitan?
Um,
Okay, let me see. What do I have? Unfortunately, there's no momentum on the table.
Advanced
No.
sensor suites from the Da Vinci, though, so equivalently a
Yep.
free hit.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right, because we got that now.
Yep.
I just want to see what I've got in terms of some of my medals. Do I have the one that lets me do the threat?
I can
Yeah,
threaten
you
you,
know
but I
what?
don't think that's the same thing.
This seems like a good place to do it. I'm gonna roll. You spent a full min. Ha! You
Oh,
only
nice.
get 2 of it back.
Nice.
Nice.
I mean, often we only get like one Holy
Yeah.
shit, good
Yeah,
roll.
that's the best roll I've seen for that medal in a while, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still wasn't top when I was all effects, but
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
Hey, I'll
Girl.
take it.
That is still fucking great, yeah.
I will take this. And focus.
Re-rolling.
Do I get a reroll as well because of your thing, Thrall?
Yes, you do.
Okay, that's still 2, 4, 6.
Don't forget the Da Vinci.
8.
Yeah,
Yep,
thanks,
the
man.
Vinci itself.
And she crit too.
Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. And because of the ship sensors, that's 11 hits.
Yeah, 11 hits.
Five hits, unfortunately.
So full momentum.
Yep.
Is
And
that
also-
the station stats you rolled with? Hey!
Momentum plus a float that you can do something with if you want there, Ben, because you generate one based off my talent.
We only generated. Oh, right. Also, nope, nothing.
Oops, they're way smaller than that.
Chief Science Officer, though. And
Yeah,
a
I was
sensor
gonna
scan.
say, and float for me being science officer. Wow.
Huh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You notice that there are 7 scale 1 targets that are trying their best to move at maneuver speed, and in the chaos of what's going on, they're trying to hide and very slowly they have very suspicious movements that aren't illegal per se, but you've served in the Achilles long enough, and you're a skilled sensor operator. This is very odd behavior for ships to do, and they all seem to have not sensor baffling hulls. They're kind of too small to benefit from that too much, but they're all running at like near nothing energy. They're running as silent as a small craft can get away with, as they're all trying to drift themselves. Yep, it's a poor man's sim sensor silhouette.
Okay.
And
First-
I'll note as well that you notice that the Halanak station seems to be doing intense scans of the area, and it kind of muddied your scans a little bit. Like they were drowning out your sensors a little bit.
So first question, do I get an inkling as to how long they've been here? Like, have they just always been here, and I'm only just noticing that their movements are odd, or did they just show up?
I'll take a momentum for that. Their vectors indicate that they all came off of. They must have all launched from Halanak station.
So they just left.
They just left. Basically, by the end of the last scene, as you're doing your scans, they moved one zone away at maneuver speed. It's scattered, basically.
Captain, I'm detecting a number of small craft departing from Halanak station. I think someone or a group of someones might be trying to escape.
Forward telemetry to Captain Athaton.
Will do.
He's the most experienced with this sort of maneuver.
Yep.
And try and get more
So,
detailed scans on these entities.
on it, and spending that other momentum to ask, do these small craft match any known space frame to Federation databases?
Yep, you can spend that. Let's just say you'll get an answer. If there was no information, I would just push it back at you and say insufficient info. These seem to follow Klingon civil freighter models.
We're looking at. I think these are Klingon civil freighters. Small, but maneuverable, and integrating Klingon baffling technology. Not a cloak, but incorporating Klingon sensor baffling theory.
Understood.
This is-
DM, quick question. What's the patent? Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Better ship still.
Yep.
This is the Wilson R. Abbott. Go ahead, Da Vinci.
Captain, we've got some suspicious activity scattering. My sensor operator should be forwarding yours locations and trajectories. I thought your expertise might prove useful in this.
Look for one that has the lowest energy signature. It's the only one with people on it. The rest are dummies with mild explosives. Not enough to damage the ship, but enough to really ruin your day.
Would I need to spend another momentum for that, or do I need to make a separate roll?
You would need to make a separate roll.
That's what I like to hear.
Normal
Is this
difficulty
another
would be
roll?
2 here, because now you can see the targets. They can't hide themselves anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll gesture
except-
over to Ben to do that.
Yep. Except, testing a theory into practice.
Yep.
Now that I know what I'm looking for, I'm spending 2 momentum to get a 4th die for the reroll.
There it is.
Rerolling that comp. Wow, that's a bad roll for me. I just get it.
It is. This one.
I've got a lock, Captain. Forwarding course data to Helm, and you get one. I also generate a bonus. Can I spend that and one more to get a solid sensor lock on it?
You could, yeah. You'd have that advantage, if you will.
Okay, so
As it looks like that one seems to be almost drifting dead in space. You almost forgot about. You almost would have discounted it, except you're in an emergency situation, so you have to check for everything that's near open tar, because gravity can be a thing, and someone could run into it. Navigational hazard. Like for a half second, if you hadn't scanned for it, your ship's auto sensors would have tripped and mistaken it for a nav hazard.
that's the one, Captain.
All right. Captain Fenton, thanks for your insight. We're going to go do a little bit of interdicting.
I'll stand by in case they wheel around.
Thank you. Con, take us into close range to the departing bogey.
Warp would be what you would need. 1, 2, 3. Cost 3 power.
Done.
Go wide.
Do you use your quantum slip? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yes, we're earning our quantum slip drive for this.
So you very quickly rush over to the small craft. Within close range of it.
Hailing frequencies.
Insight con opposed.
All right.
Assisted by sensors con, actually. Buying a full mitt.
Is that from me or from
Someone on the
the
Da Vinci.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have someone who is better at this?
What are we looking at rolling, sorry?
An insight con roll opposed?
Insight con. Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
We have a
I've
pilot.
Yeah. Our pilot has a 13.
Oh, yeah, okay, so that one better.
And they're the same as me on that. So I've got 13. Question is, GM.
Yeah.
Focus in military history, observation, or strategy and tactics here?
Strategy and tactics, yeah.
Cool.
Or
I'll
military
take that roll
history, arguably.
I'll take military history. I don't get to use it as often.
And I'd argue for being able to assist with potentially security.
Yep.
As either Star Navy protocols, precautions.
Precautions, yeah.
Yeah.
Create a hoplite commander?
Not yet.
Okay.
It is not yet a hazard team situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is regular Starfleet stuff currently.
Standard security protocols.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend 1 for an extra die.
1-1.
Momentum.
Okay.
Oh, one action point? Oh.
There's that. Any assist from the ship on this, or is it just a...
Computers con would help. Oh, sensors con. I said it the first time. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Sensors con. Alright, sensors con. That means we get a lower difficulty of 1.
Or just one extra hit, however you want to count it.
Yeah, 1 extra hit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6. We gain 1.
Yeah, you notice it's very subtly powering up for warp. It won't warp super fast, but it would catch you off guard and would warp away if you don't do something. Like it's about to, but it doesn't look like it
I'll
is.
sigh and say, security, tractor lock.
What was
And-
that laugh then?
And I'll hand wave the lock because they can't. They're not going to win against that, and they don't have weapons to make you go away. So we are going to move along a scene back to Halanak Station. As we cut over to as the captains and admiral are requested to attend a meeting with Rear Admiral Pend on Halanak Station. This is after Serpentia has been brought into protective custody, and this is after the ship has been pulled aboard Da Vinci A. As you're literally able to track it into your ship.
Well, I'd also request the captain of Thrallet to be there as well, like captains and rear admiral.
Yeah, that's what I said. The captains.
Right then.
These ones don't really matter.
You can just beam in using the Jedi, Jedi Council room hologram thing.
Uh-huh.
Pretend to be sitting in a chair that has to match exactly to the chair you're actually sitting in.
It makes so much sense.
Well, see, we had that technology, but somewhere during the career of those aboard Discovery, we accidentally deleted all of our information and knowledge on how to do that.
Well, they reinvented it during Deep Space Nine, but then they kind of forgot about it again. So it's very touch and go technology.
It's one of those technologies that's always 10 years off. So, like,
Mhm.
you always have prototypes of it, but it's never like a technology that people want to have deployed fully.
It's the
It's
hydrogen
like flying
car
cars.
of
Yeah.
See, I was going to go with the Google Glass.
Yeah.
Is this all the people you wanted to attend your meeting there, Pend?
Yeah, unless there's anyone you can think of.
Executive officers of either ship may be relevant, but you may or may not need their presence. Trailblazer and Nathatin are leaving theirs, and Joan is on his own. He doesn't have an executive officer. His executive is, well, he's not part of that kind of structure. He's an admiralty officer.
He is the executive.
Yeah.
Normally, Sarana would try to worm herself into one of these kinds of meetings. However, she's very tied up at the moment, so she does not care.
If that's the case, yeah, if Thralight wishes to bring Rylov along, that would be acceptable.
How active is the current situation with the vessel we brought on board, I guess?
Yeah, the preliminary scans by security have suggested that there is no one aboard, but you get a follow-up message by Thatton like, no, they're on there somewhere. They're hiding. You just have to dig around carefully. It takes time to find smugglers who are hiding in the hull plating.
I'm going to say that I want my XO still in command, so that there's a command officer on board my ship while there's an active, investigation going on.
We're finding them.
Yeah.
I'll put it.
Hammer on disruptor.
I'll put it so far as that the role is more tedium than it is difficult. So it's one of those. As long as someone is trying to do it, but yeah, having Ralph there, if I happen to spend threat, is probably a good idea.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're on one of the diplomatic suites in the Starfleet section. Actually, you're in the Starfleet parts of the station. I just remembered because you're all Starfleet officers, so you don't have to, and you don't have to use the diplomatic suites for that, unless you really want to. But I don't. I presume you're not.
Yeah. No, we'll be good in just a normal room.
Yeah. So you're in level 6-2. Didn't think I'd be seeing that maneuvers all the way out here in Halanak Station, says a Thatton.
I'm glad we spotted them.
You both did well. Thank you for picking that up.
All credit goes to Da Vinci. I just babysat a bunch of scared captains. Soothing the civilian populace is an important duty, Captain, says Trailblazer. Thatton just kind of starts for a second, like he forgot he was there, and was like, "Oh, he's here. All right. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir."
Well, the recent incident is one of the things I'd like to talk about. But the other one is, while I think we all appreciate that the three of you have turned up, bit strange that you'd come all the way out here. So I was wondering, what do you all want?
Like, you're also gonna throw the weirdest look over at Penn. Like, what the heck?
Trailblazer's eyes sparkle in amusement. Joan kind of nods, like he understands why you'd be worried about that. That and kind of looks at you puzzled and thinks on it for a second. And, well, entirely honest, I was using I wanted to see you, but also I was using this as an opportunity to reach out to diplomats here on Halanak under your promotion ceremony as a semi-formal way to talk to people for my task force. But I have no assignment to Halanak Station. Not yet, anyway. I haven't heard. do intend to reach out to the Harmonizer at some point once he's back. I was hoping to catch him while I was still here, but I'll have to leave after today, assuming everything is stabilized. Joan then speaks up and says, "As for me, I'm here for what I said I was here for. I understand why you may be suspicious, but truly, Grennan would have loved to have been here. He just wanted us to not. We didn't want to drag you all the way to Narendra for the ceremony, given that you just got here, but also, wanted to acknowledge and give his regards and say hi to everyone." Trailblazer's eyes stop sparkling, and they go very calm. "Well, as for me, I heard about your encounter with the file called the higher dimensional being you ran into, this Badger. I wanted to study with some of the scientists here on the sensor resources and possibly hunt down where he's gone off to. Besides, it gives me a good excuse to test out the Fredericton's new sensor suite, so... But I'm not here to step on your toes. You're the Rear Admiral here. The free information sphere is your responsibility. I'm just getting good data where I can get it. And besides, if Starfleet Intelligence or the Time Fleet wanted me to talk to you, we would be talking on my ship, not on your station."
Well,
Kind of turn to Trailblazer and say, happy to coordinate getting sensor logs transferred over to you. I think there's also a couple individuals you might want to speak to.
After this meeting, my XO can talk to yours and we can arrange interviews if possible.
I'll just nod.
If that's alright with you, Bent.
You don't need my permission to do basic things.
Formally,
it's fine.
Formally, I do. This is your fleet. I'm not supposed to be bothering your officers in official capacity without at least informing you. We all have our jurisdictions in the Admiralty.
Yeah, that's sure, but you're free to ask anything really. Same with you, Fatton. If you want to reach out to people for information or contacts, just go for it. It's perfectly fine. I have no issues whatsoever.
Well, that's good. May I speak frankly with you, Admiral?
Go for it.
I didn't much care if you did. I was going to do it anyway. Joe just gives him a look, and at that and just shrugs at him and looks over at Pent.
Yeah, Pent's just on the shore. He's like, yeah, makes sense. But, no, it's just weird having so many high-ranking officers in one place and essentially a shootout in the middle of a station where it shouldn't be happening. So you can understand the question marks.
I don't know of any pirate although this was a smuggling maneuver I just saw. I knew of no unit or syndicate that was operating here. I've heard Orion Syndicate reached out to the Free Information Sphere last year, but that went nowhere last I heard. Although I haven't had a chance to ask the Lieutenant Captain of Star Sirena about it, but since you haven't reported anything, he gestures at you.
Yeah, nothing's really come up yet. We can keep an ear out, and if anything does come up, we'll forward it.
Trailblazer then says, "There's no Time Fleet action here. We did a quick scan of the area. We see no chronoton surges or other such technology that would hide the effect. So no unexpected time travel is occurring in your area." Joan and Nathan both give him a look, and Trailblazer doesn't answer the looks at all. He just looks right at Penn.
Oh, that's all. That's fantastic news. And said, you're both free to dock and operate here whenever you need to. And if any of you have any questions, or any of the three of you have any questions about what's happening around here, feel free to ask. This is the perfect time to get it done.
Trailblazer then says, "You think this is the Tal Shiar's doing?" Thatton speaks up immediately and goes, "No, too disorganized, too loud. If they're going to show it, they show up in warbirds and flex how powerful they are. They don't involve civilian populaces unless it's their own."
See, I would
Always
assume
disconcerting.
Bezriel, but didn't she's essentially been taken down mostly.
Who was that, sorry?
What was it? Bezriel? She's been taken down essentially.
That nods. Yeah. The Gungnir and various other ships have basically pulled apart her organization. Last I heard, she was being shipped off to Narinder Station for processing. Her empire is in shambles, but that doesn't mean that there isn't some remnants of it twitching in the dark, hoping to fill in the power vacuum. Part of why I'm out here in the first place, I'm hoping the Romulans might fill in some of the blanks that... Because without Bezriel, a lot of her connections kind of fell away, so I'll be able to hunt down people who suddenly don't have the Empire's favor anymore. And perhaps they'll seek asylum with Federation.
Makes sense. I know we're technically on good terms with them at the moment, but tripolity?
Jones speaks up. No, I don't think so. They were weakened too by the Avalon and some of the actions by the KT Bowman. They're still there, but they're not worried too much about Halanak Station. They're too busy picking up the pieces from their headquarter world basically being trashed. If anything, Starex I would expect Starex to reach out to one of our diplomats at some point, or see that Altera Chancellor of his go doing the rounds at some point. If anything, you'll see her long before you see anyone else. And as for attacking Halanak, the tripolity isn't about this sort of thing. If they were going to invade, they would come here with a fleet. Not that they have the strength to do that right now.
I suppose the question of who has the resources to acquire the ships. I doubt it was anything related directly to the Klingons, but it was some of their civilian vessels.
Thatton speaks up and says, "Well, between the traditionalists and the progressives, there's people buying and selling things on all sides. I mean, as much as the Empire is making an effort to make everything seem calm, there's a lot of black market trade happening, especially the further away you get from Kronos. So, but as for any big organizations, I haven't heard anything. I mean, maybe a great house, even a rather influential house, but I mean, to get that many this close without any of us noticing. I mean, we have all our ships and the station have skilled intelligence officers and security officers, plus the harmonizers. They needed help on station. That's the only way they could have done this.
Do you think someone in the FIS or Starfleet then?
I thought nods. I think so.
That kind of narrows it down then.
You have an idea, Admiral? Says Trailblazer.
Neo-originalists?
If anything, they'd want to make you look good. Maybe this is them making you look good. Capture the bad person running around on station. The hero of Halanak, saving the locals and showing them the Federation way, and so on and so on.
Well, they could either do that or cause enough trouble where the FIS no longer wishes for Starfleet to be here.
If I were you, Admiral, I'd reach out to your Lieutenant Captain of Stars and try to sort this out before this turns into a bigger issue than it is.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of fake security officers shooting up parts of the station.
I'd also say the scans that Lieutenant Van was able to get of the diaspora of ships were made more difficult by some sensor activity coming out of Halanak Station. It might be worth investigating who has the authority to order or implement such a protocol. It could have been sloppy work, but if we think there might be someone compromised, then we should investigate it.
Yeah, makes sense. I'll get a team to go through the data logs, see what we can pick up. Once we've got something to work with, we'll press it. And if you manage to find some stowaways on that Klingon freighter, maybe we can have a lovely chat with them.
Oh, we'll find anyone who's on there, sir.
Well, is there any questions any of you wish to ask?
Just the one, says Trailblazer. His eyes go very dark, and he stares at you and says, there are two ways we can really assist you. Under the current organization here in the Shackleton, this is your jurisdiction as the Rear Admiral. This area is your responsibility. And for my fleet and Thatton to be pulled into this, I mean, you might get away with pulling Joan for a temporary assignment to assist you, but Thatton has his fleet and I have mine. We either officially stay out of this until you have evidence for us to divert from our current mission, or he looks around at everyone. I invoke Article 14, Section 31, and assume command of their fleets until you tell me what needs to be done. Seems a little drastic, says Thatton. Sir?
Okay.
I don't think we need to go that far. I appreciate the offer, Raven. It's kind of tired of going down that route these days.
I believe it's appropriate we get on our way and back to our business. And Captain Joan, be very mindful. The more you get involved, the more you're involving the rest of operations. Joan gives him a look and kind of, yes, sir.
Oh, if I could ask for a small favor, though, Admiral Trailblazer, Captain Thatton.
They both look at you.
If you could keep an eye out for this species if you're in the area. Still trying to figure out where they were transported to. They'll hand over a couple pads with the basic biosignatures of the pre-warp civilization. Yeah, the lizard people.
We'll keep an eye out.
Thank you.
And Thatton just nods. We'll look for them.
All right.
Is there anything else there, Admiral Pend?
Not really. I was expecting someone to question the fact that I've got a Tal Shiar fleet representative on the station.
Do you want me to question you about that, Admiral Pend? Both of that and Joan look very uncomfortable suddenly, as Trailblazer stares at you when he says that.
Yeah, if you wish. I'm not ashamed.
We're all command officers here, so I'll be blunt. What was your motivation for bringing in a Tal Shiar agent into your fleet liaison corps?
2 reasons. And I'll be completely honest with you because I like you all. The first is this isn't a Federation station. This is a station for the FIS. They don't have an issue with the Tal Shiar. So, while we may not enjoy it, this is still their decision whether they wish to have a representative. I'm merely facilitating it.
You do realize, Admiral, that it's very possible this incident may be a consequence of that choice, and that you'd be held responsible for it.
And I'd accept it 100% because of the second reason.
Well, I'm not your commanding admiral, so I don't get to lecture you. I don't think it's a good idea to have Tal Shiar here, but your station, your command.
I'd rather know where they are than have them skulking around.
They could very well be doing both.
True. But
It's not the agent that you let aboard that's the problem. It's any staff he brings with him or has hidden in his care that will be infiltrating your station. That's who I worry about. It's never the agents you can see you need to worry about. It's like seeing tachyon surges in the dark. It's not the sign of a ship, but it's a pretty good indicator there's a fleet out there somewhere.
Well, like I said, if the Romulans wish to rear their ugly head, I'll deal with them, like I have every other time.
I don't think they're all
But
that
I
ugly.
did owe them a position due to they're the ones who delivered me Jaishu.
That seems like a conflict of interest.
Yes.
It could also be construed as patronage, Admiral, says Trailblazer.
Well, they provided what I wanted when no one else could. So I took it. I'm not ashamed that I did. And that's why I'm being honest with you.
Not questioning whether you're ashamed, Admiral.
They don't have any special privileges. I just agreed to them working on the station.
And would you have done so if you were not provided with sensitive information?
More than likely, it's just that sped up the decision.
See.
Hope this doesn't backfire on you. Good day. I don't think my pursuit of this matter will be beneficial to any of us. And Trailblazer gets up to leave, and Nathan and Joan just are very uncomfortable with this conversation. Oh, we did not want to overhear that.
Yeah, no.
Well, if there's nothing else, you're free to leave, put a complaint in, whatever you wish.
Admiral? And
Admiral?
that head returns
I'm
to the
also
ship.
getting out of there, honestly.
Joan kind of hangs about and says, is there any message you'd like me to bring back to Brennan?
Yeah. Tell him thank you for the well wishes. I think both me and Captain Thralic truly appreciate it. And either if he gets the chance to come down here or next time I get a chance to go up there, it'll be nice to see him again.
I'll see if we can manage it after we're done with the Gungnir. Good day, Admiral.
Good day.
Joan will grab a shuttle and start heading off. He won't get. If you need to get him again, he won't get very far because he's moving at shuttle speed, frankly.
Yeah.
We swing to a new scene with Haifa. Where is Haifa, by the way, at this juncture?
Well, had to go back to station operations to make sure everything was all right, and then I guess since I know the lieutenant captain is busy there, I take that back. It would, despite my personal interest, it would probably be a giant step outside of my bounds to go look in on that prisoner. Because I'm not first or second officer, or I'm not captain or first officer or a harmonizer. So
Yeah, the
I'll
most you
have
could do
to-
is ask as a private person, like, hey, do you need my help with anything, Serana, sort of thing. But I'm not sure what your relationship is with Lieutenant Captain at this point.
Um. Yeah, then unless someone needs my help with something, I will finally get back to making progress on the civilian QSD.
Hey, we can actually,
Yeah, I looked at the pen. It's been 2 months since I rolled.
So yeah, by what method are you going to seek approval from the FIS Parliament for a civil QSD ship?
See, the thing that has to start at the beginning is the thing that you would do good with my help on, and I'm the one person you can't get help from right now.
I would like to write a report on all of the ways that our last mission could have gone better if we had a unarmed but QSD capable shuttle. Right, how our investigation could have gone better, how it could have gone faster, and how we could have avoided some negative consequences.
Prison's commander security. Difficulty is increased to 3, given the tensions on Halanak at the moment. Parliament's distracted, but, you know, there's many members of Parliament and there's many committees and subcommittees, so someone's bound to look at this in a timely manner. You read it to the right committee anyway.
Strangely enough, you can get someone from the Agri Committee, and they have enough pull to get someone from another committee.
Yeah.
All right. Would you take a trait of project manager, because I can describe accurately what help I need from them?
Are you aiming that at... oh, there's no resistance. Oh, there is. I'm wrong. Do you want resistance reduced or difficulty reduced?
Difficulty, because the difficulty came up.
Yep, back down to 2.
Then I will buy a dice. Focus in cultural studies, because I know how to speak to non-Starfleet people.
Momentum or threat?
Momentum.
I'll take that. Yep. You generate 2, I believe. Roll for me 5 challenge dice.
2.
Hmm.
The diff is... I only generate 1. The diff was 2.
Oh,
But you got a trait.
you have a trait though.
Oh, the trait brought it down from 3.
Oh, you're
the
right,
diff down
you're
from
right.
3 to
So
2.
just 1. Yep, you're right.
So just
Got
one.
it.
I'm going to spend 2 momentum to reduce the resistance to 0.
So you'll do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 5 into 7. 12. Generates your second magnitude. Brings down diff again. As the second magnitude is... At this point now, it's a matter of... you've now gotten a variety of subcommittees that will lead into higher committees to look at your document and kind of put it up on the docket a bit, because you're not the only person asking for something. Be like, no. But there's a little more urgency here. There's a reason I want you to move this up the line. because you need to get it past all these subcommittees before the larger committees can look at it anytime this year. Because they have to look over and judge whether or not your proposals are feasible or appropriate, or argue if they're even the appropriate subcommittee to be handling this if they have jurisdiction. And then that one guy is obstructionist because he doesn't get his favorite flower built on that one mountain, and everyone wants him to shut up about it. But he's really adamant about it. Why is he on this committee? Who knows? But thankfully he can be outvoted because gerrymandering, filibustering is against the law. So.
All right. Then once that's written up, I'll let Commander Thralic know that I do not have any active duties aboard the station. So if I am needed on the Da Vinci, I will come over.
Meanwhile, on the Da Vinci, who is down? Is there anyone down there in the shuttle bay with the captured ship?
Probably Rylov. It's like, yeah, I'm on the ship. If Ven has a particular interest in helping find people, he can be down here as well, but tends to not like being near something that might be confrontational from experience. Isn't that right, Ven?
Might be hitting the shoulder.
Was that just a wah?
Squint.
Oh.
It was an angry squint, in case you're wondering.
Angry squint.
Angry
See?
Squint. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, you can run sensors from the bridge just fine.
Yeah, but you know what? That's less fun.
Oh, so you do want to be down here?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
All right then.
I didn't just gaslight him into this.
Nope, not at all.
Oh, here's the thing, because I'm down here now, I can be reading emotions.
Oh, that's true.
Oh my god, it's like Alien where they have the little tracking device to find the xenomorph. You're going to like be beeping and pointing as to where the people might be.
Literally saying beep as well.
Yeah. I was, however, planning to give you a, well, it's going to be 1 momentum, 2 threat. It's 1 op, 2 escalation. It's my little drone.
1 and 2.
I don't need to worry about anyone getting hurt if it's a drone. It's not even AI run, so no one can get angry at me for that either.
So what you're saying is, as long as the subroutines are primitive, you're willing to exploit them. I see how it is.
Yes.
Yes, as long as it's VI and not AI.
Yes.
Something so comp.
It's like, I mean, if you want me to make something sentient that lives in a little floating box that can do nothing but look, sure.
Just put Haifa in there. I'm sure she won't
I
mind.
need to go to HR. You don't see me stabbing little monkeys. Why are you poking at the
Well, that's just it. No one sees you do it.
less than sophantic AIs?
Jeez.
Then you can sense as you get down there, and actually from the drone, I'm presuming, Ra, if you're not using security teams to kind of pull, or engineering teams to pull the thing apart, you're using a drone to find where this person's hiding in the shuttle.
Yes.
So you kind of find Ryloff kind of piloting the drone one very slowly through the thing, being very methodical, because the only other place they have to go is outside the shuttle, and well, welcome to the inside of a Starfleet shuttle bay. So
Yeah.
as you step in, Ven, you probably with some report in hand to the commander of the ship while Thralik's away, you get a sense of condemning, or someone who's condemning something.
Oh, that's
And it's not Ryloff, because there's you, him, and like there's some guy up in the control tower. That person, by the way, in case you're wondering, is mildly irritated because now one of their shuttle bay pods are being used by this stupid thing. But, you know. Oh well. Can't leave every single pad open all the time. That's not how Starfleet works. Doesn't mean I can't complain about it. That sort of attitude.
I get the distinct impression that whoever's here isn't particularly happy, Centurion.
Most people are not pleased when they are caught, no. Do you have a feeling of where he is? Or they?
Do I have a general feeling of where he is?
Insight, con or security, difficulty of 2. Ryloff, you can assist, or flip side, Ven can be assisting Ryloff with reason security.
I think I will assist with reason security. I think that's the better play.
Oh no, you can't assist with reason security because you're using your mind. Insight plus security.
Oh, okay. It's one difference either way.
Yeah, okay, reason security? Sure. I mean, I could go for, Star Navy protocols. In terms of finding a fugitive hiding in a Klingon vessel of all things.
Comp increase, because one of the protocols involves gassing it until the perpetrator gets out, but you're not allowed to do that here.
I mean, I could.
You could. You'll just get dinged by your Starfleet compatriots. Compatriots? Colleagues, sorry.
Otherwise, I've got team dynamics for working with, a psionic of all things. Too.
Team dynamics would totally hit here.
Yeah. Yes, I did have to scornfully say psionic, by the way, Ben.
Eventually, you'll all have ESP. One day.
I do have the trait of mistrusts Klingons. I don't know if that does anything.
Comp
here,
increase.
but, yeah.
You don't trust their tech.
I don't.
Next character I make is going to have absolutely no psionic ability whatsoever, and you can't make him.
Challenge accepted. I don't care if it's a Frankie. I'll put a freaking robot in his head. I don't.
Scout trait.
Found a Kashoan. Scout trait, you say? No, I won't take that.
Okay. Again, had to ask.
Yes, the Ferengi's lobes are Kashoan.
My lobes are made of money. Except now I'm Sonic. Help me.
God, so dumb.
What's worse, it doesn't even work on other Ferengi. They're immune. This is the worst thing ever.
Oh, yeah. When you attempt a task to notice or detect an enemy or hazard, you may reroll a d20. Wary.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. Lovely. Was this opposed or just a flat difficulty?
It'll be opposed, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll do the funny. We'll find out how funny it is. It's 3.
So, kind of funny.
It's like half the way there.
It's a yuck, but not a just for laughs.
Yeah, hey, that's pretty close to how good I got it. So.
Okay, I've made it more complicated for myself, but not any harder or any easier. And you're assisting, and yeah, I've got a reroll from that and from the stuff.
I'm sorry.
Oh, amazing.
Well, we got 7 hits, but a complication. I'm willing to let that ride.
So am I.
You see, I would rather not when he's got a reactor there. That said, yeah, I can just Legion of Honor. No, bad Ben. That's why I don't trust psionics.
Legion of Honor, I think, helps cancel out your complications.
Or it can generate 2 bonus momentum on a successful
Oh,
task.
2 bonus momentum is the key. No, never mind. Yeah, you can quash
Yeah.
it. You're right.
It says it can do either or. I think the complication quash can happen on a failed task.
Hmm.
Yeah, because Legion of Honor requires you to succeed, right?
Yes, for the 2 bonus momentum.
Yeah. So yeah, you are able to find what appears to be an Orion male tucked away inside an EPS manifold. That's why you couldn't find him right away, because one, you normally can't fit a Orion of any size in there, because there's, live plasma wires in there, but they've kind of created this little nest that makes them really hard to see.
Rylov, would your orders be to have my phaser at the ready?
Oh, we're currently not inside.
Oh,
That's the thing. We're outside it unless you need to get closer.
No, I get that, but are we going inside, or are we just... What
If
are
we're
we...
going inside, then yes, we're taking out the weaponry. I presume Orions are generally dangerous, especially smugglers.
That's a bit
But
of a
he's in,
generalization.
an
but
EPS
okay.
conduit. A generalization that smugglers are dangerous?
That Orions are dangerous.
Orion smugglers.
Maybe he's doing it for his poor mother. You don't know.
Orion males who are typically the muscle. Typically.
Okay, you're the
but
one that has to talk
yes.
to HR later. That's all.
I'm sure.
So yeah, you take
Okay,
you draw disruptor.
Yes. Yeah. You can draw your little phaser there, Ben. You can recharge it and everything if you want to.
Yep.
And let's try to. Okay, we need to locate the panel he's behind. Like we know where it is. We just need to see where it opens from.
Mm-hmm. Control engineering difficulty of 3 to open it up safely.
Yeah, safely because we don't want to fry the guy.
Or yourselves, or both.
Or ourselves. Or yeah, either or.
Also, you require a engineering kit to do it, because you need the tools to actually
do.
unrivet stuff. Unrivet?
Mm.
No. Yes, starships are riveted. That makes sense, dude. Freaking, you know what I mean. Pull it off.
Yeah. We can pay for one of those. I'm like, it's even better if there's one just on the shuttle. 'Cause it's like these are the right tools already.
If you told me that the Klingons believed riveting to be a more honorable, combative form of structuring buildings, and therefore their ships still have rivets in them, I wouldn't even not believe you.
I mean, aren't they stem bolted?
Yeah, but that's
Well, we don't really know what stem bolts are for.
We know they're
other than
self-sealing.
self-sealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
They're
presumably they're not
essentially
self-sealing
fancy
ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that is true. Presumably there are a type of stem bolt that are not self-sealing.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Who has the kit?
So someone needs to roll a control engineering then.
Whoever has the kit, yeah.
Yes, I think we have the exact same score.
I'm rocking a 13.
Yes.
Do you have a focus?
If I am collaborating with you, maybe.
Do you have a momentum?
We don't.
No. Not anymore.
I was about to say you could get me on the hollow and I could give you a 5 and a focus, but
The
I
only,
mean, he might let you use a threat for that.
the only thing I can really throw on the table is reverse engineering.
I'd take it at comp.
I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, I don't have a specific focus, so I've got one to help you for sure if I use team dynamics.
Yeah.
Especially under the guise of covering you, because, dude.
Yeah. Courageous volunteer
I'm sorry?
as a trait.
Oh, as a trait. Yeah, I think that applies here, yeah.
Remember, Vin, if worst comes to worst, the drone can manufacture a disruptor.
Big 3 threat.
Certainly.
GM.
I also forgot I made it resistant to holographic deception.
Oh,
What?
that's the 2 I needed.
And what was I rolling to help with him there?
Control security diff 2 to shoot the guy inside.
Oh, okay.
No, it would be control engineering to assist them, or inside engineering.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Generate 2. As you're able to open up the panel, and you see the Orion tangled up in all these plasma wires, you're able to kind of pry them away. He makes no effort to fight you or anything like that. He looked very tired. It looks like he's been in there a while. Like he must have stuffed himself, and it looks like it's such a difficult cubbyhole to get into. He must have set the thing to autopilot for where he needed to go, and like pre-programmed the computer, and then stuffed himself in there to hide himself. So he's been in there for like, upwards of 30 minutes to an hour, just in this perfectly cramped spot with super hot wires. You can even see there's like slight burn marks on his burn marks, not from direct contact, just from like proximity to a EPS conduit.
Does this look like something he could get himself into?
Yes. Getting back, he wouldn't be able to get back out again, though.
Okay.
Is the thing. He needed someone on the outside to unbolt him back out again.
We'll just, keep a low, ready disruptor pointed at him, and as Ben's getting him out, mostly.
Gives you both a look. Kind of just sits on the floor and kind of catches his breath.
Do what we need to get a medical team for you.
Scene carries on to elsewhere on Halanak Station with Seirana in her office, I believe.
Hello. Yes. I would have taken her up to my office and, asked for her side of the story.
So, okay. I was looking for some work, and I got this job where someone owed the Aurelius company some money. So I went to, I heard that they had gone into Penn's bar here on the station. So I go in there. I'm not expecting a fight. Like I have a weapon on me for self-defense purposes, and that sort of thing. But I'm looking around. There's some people working in there. I asked someone really nicely to let me look around. Gave them a story about being really interested in the place. So I start looking around, and the most I'm expecting is someone jumping over a table or beaming away or something of that nature. Next thing I know, I see these security officers come in. I assume they're here to help, or they are rather to help. Maybe this person's like a reoccurring debtor or something, or maybe they've been in some other trouble. I don't think they have anything to do with me. But then they started drawing mass drivers. And I know for a fact Starfleet doesn't use mass drivers. It's against their protocols. They use phasers. So I go for cover out of instinct. That's when they started shooting. I returned fire, moving from cover to cover. I noticed the alarms didn't go off until after they all fell over. Now, I counted there was at least 3 of them. And I think you found 2 of them. There was a third somewhere, but I lost track of him. I didn't know if he was still in the room. And by the time you got to me, I had a bunch of very angry Starfleet officers wondering why I was in the bar, why there was a bunch of injured people in there. So, not entirely sure why Starfleet's trying to kill me, and why they're trying to get me in trouble. So I decided to, which is the weird thing is, Captain Penn, the commander of the station, said I could be here. So, if he was gonna kill me or he didn't like me or something, he could have just told me to leave. But he didn't, and I've been here for a couple days. So, well, a couple days? A day or so? I lost track. Anyway. I don't know why Starfleet's out to kill me, but they sent people to kill me, so the nearest government I thought to turn to were the very pacifistic Infospherians.
Okay, quick check right off the bat. Can I make an insight check to tell if she's lying or not?
Insight security difficulty of... a 5.
Ah,
Oh.
boy. Oh, boy. All right.
And I hope there's candy left. I'm aching for candy right now. I don't want to just get up and go get some. Probably late enough there. Yeah, they're probably done good. Maybe not. Some people are late night trick-or-treaters.
That's the benefit of living in the ass crack of nowhere.
But they don't trick-or-treat out there? I suppose not a ton of people. Even those who would, it would take a bit, I suppose. Never mind.
I live in the middle of a field.
It's a bit of a walk. It's good for your exercise.
I think trick-or-treating is
I
very
presume you live
suburban,
in a house,
honestly.
though. Oh god. We've been turning it. Cultural studies to see if she's. No, you know what? You know what? Here. Take 3 threat. I would like to get a new focus in people reading. If that's acceptable.
Through what?
My talent of walking encyclopedia.
Ah, yes. Makes sense.
Excuse me, 2 threat.
Yeah, the number that threw me. I was like, huh? What costs 3 threat? That's what I do.
You're right. I said the wrong number, and then I double checked the roll when you sounded surprised. Okay, I have a focus now. Wait. Well, you can keep the threat because I already said it, but you asked for security, which is a 1. So, man, I am firing on all cylinders. Okay.
You could try and swing another ability.
Which one?
Maybe command?
I mean, would you accept command, GM?
I take medical over command in this because you're reading body language and stuff like that.
Okay, well, my medical is 3, so that's something.
Hmm.
It's 13 over an 11. That's a significant mathematical improvement. Okay. Here's a big one. I would like to challenge the value "we are partners, not subordinates"
Ooh.
on the grounds that I am acting seemingly in direct contradiction of Federation interests, because I feel like that's what I must do in this circumstance. Will you accept that?
I'll take that challenge, yep.
Okay. Then can I spend my value on there's nothing a gift and a firm handshake can't accomplish, because I'm trying to diplomatically negotiate with her.
Sure.
All right. Now, all right, so 5 threat and rolling 4 dice. Oh boy.
No, I have to select myself, brain. There we go. That's 3 on what, 5?
Sure is. Well, not too much I can do about that. So, either I just fail or you can succeed at cost.
There's something about the way she's talking, the way she's moving. There's this air, this sense, if you will, of maybe this hyperspace being is tricking you in some way, or maybe they seem something other than human. Like, they appear human, and sensors seemed... you were told that this person was scanned and what came up as a human. But something just puts you off. They're very hard to read.
Mhm.
And you know, even though you're not yourself a human, you are a lieutenant captain. You've run into enough aliens by this point, or at least studied enough about them to read them. But this alien, you're at a loss. Whether it's intentional or it's just they have some weird quirk to their there may be some variant of their species that makes it hard to understand. Also, some of the stuff on them is kind of distracting. They have like bits of gear on them that seems to be blinking with lights or changing shades of color every so often, which for an Upantari kind of throws you off because that's usually a sign of something, but then that may be just the gear being it, like it's not attached to the person, which kind of throws you.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to look at her and I'm going to say, well, there will be a harmonizer investigation into what went down inside the bar, and I can assure you that the FIS does not enforce the law selectively. I cannot promise you the end result of said investigation other than it will be as impartial as it can be. I can also tell you that as much as I know, I have never seen any indication from the Starfleet that they execute their enemies. However, because there does appear to be some risk to your life, and because you do not appear to be mistruthful, I am going to motion for you to be given preliminary protective custody and asylum as of now. There will be a more formal process to confirm that. However, given this unique case, I think I can hand a preliminary judgment to you right now. And GM, is there a role to make that paperwork?
Control Command Difficulty 2. Assisted by Ship's Computers Command.
FIS law?
Yep.
Alright. 1 threat, 2 momentum. Oh, now I get the good rolls. So that's 3, 4 momentum.
You're able to draw up the appropriate paperwork, and under your authority as Lieutenant Captain of the Stars in the Steel Fleet, you're able to put this to the General Speaking Committee, which is all the parliamentarians. So the presiding speaker will be the one who responds back once they've formally voted one way or the other on it. But for now, your judgment holds until they countermand you. Because you're the ranking FIS officer on station. Though they do inform you that they're going to have to inform, you will have to inform Rear Admiral Pend and enforce the asylum. Because now you have this very unique problem of someone who needs asylum who's on a station controlled by a third party.
No, I extend an arm to her and say, welcome to the FIS. I assume you don't want to stay here, and as such, you can be organized onto one of the regular ships that run from here to Upantar.
Certainly. Did you want me to surrender my weapons, or can I hang on to them?
They don't usually let you bring them onto public trolleys, so why don't you just leave them here? You can leave them in a locker here, and they can be shipped to your location at a later point.
Okay. Do you want me to unlock my ship while you're at it, or should I just leave it locked? I've gotten a couple of pings of someone trying to get into it, but I don't think that's a threat. I think that's just station security trying to inspect my ship. Even though Penn said I didn't have to, but well.
Yes, you should, if the harmonizers are in need of examining your ship for whatever reason, they will make the formal requests. However, we have due process in this country. You do not have to submit yourself to undue search and seizures without the proper authorization.
Okay. I'll keep my communicator open then. She rattles off a subspace frequency at you. That's my call number, so if they just call me on that and I verify that they're a harmonizer. She shrugs like she's not sure how that works, but she's guessing. I'll verify that they are one, and then I can unlock the ship for them. Do you want me to give over the weapons here, or just put it in a locker in your office, or?
Yeah, there is a locker in my office. You can place it in. And she is going to walk over to her cabinet of curios and open it up and say, well, one is not truly integrated into the FIS until they've received their first gift. So, and she's going to rustle around for a bit and, yeah, she'll grab, you know, this is a 18th century Bajoran pendant. It is said to bring good luck. In the FIS, we regularly exchange gifts as a means of gratitude. This one is free, however, for it's the start of the chain, and she will motion for her to accept it.
People keep giving me gifts every time. I mean, thanks. And she reaches out to take it.
If that is substandard, you can find Vulcan pottery shards, abstract Andorian ice sculptures. Oh, it's some knickknacks from pre-war Earth.
Oh,
history,
no,
all sorts
that
of
this
things.
this is fine. Thank you. You didn't see her motion toward her belt, and then you see the item vanish into thin air next to her.
So, may I just ask, how does being a 10th dimensional being work? I must inform you that I am quite ignorant as to this matter.
Well, she takes her pistol, puts it in the locker. She reaches, as she continues talking, she reaches into her, to her back first, and then from thin air, she pulls out a rifle, and she puts it into the locker. She then reaches down to her boot, and then pulls out what appears to be some sort of knife. It's really weirdly shaped. She puts it in. And she does this. Like, there's various items she's putting in there as she's talking. I mean, I have traveled through hyperspace. I don't think I'd call myself a hyperspace being. I'm just, very lucky, I guess. I'm like anyone else. I'm just more experienced with traveling in hyperspace than others.
I see. I thought initially that you were some kind of Q-type ascended entity when the call first went through, and then I was surprised to learn that you were not some kind of magical beings with powers beyond any known comprehension. You'll excuse my ignorance. We had a run-in with such a creature very recently.
Q-type? Is that some sort of FIS designation? Should I put grenades in groups or just one at a time, you think? Put them in groups.
She kind of narrows her eye stalks and it's like, so what happens? What exactly happens in hyperspace that requires you to be so heavily armed?
It's not the hyperspace jump that's dangerous. It's when you get to regular space that it becomes very dangerous, as you've noticed.
Huh?
And not all of it's mine. Well, it is, but it is now. But, I've had to fight people from time to time, and sometimes they have stuff they leave behind, and weapons are expensive.
I see. Well, all of these things will be sorted, and assuming you can produce the necessary permits for them, and,
Oh, shoot, I'm gonna get fined for them. Oh, no.
Yes. You might.
Okay.
But such as, Upantar is a very safe society. People do not commonly carry high ordnance explosives in their back pockets. But yes. Well, if you are sufficiently unthreatening, then I believe that is all.
Well, technically I'm threatening with my mind, in a sense, but I just will choose not to use that. I don't really know how to suppress that. Other than just not using it, but... I don't think I can. Well, I could, I suppose, but I'm not going to.
Yes. Okay.
Because really, if I start trouble, I lose asylum, and powers or not, if I get a nice long sliver of mass through my shoulder, it's gonna hurt no matter how much I mess around with you. So better I play nice instead of being annoying. So do I go that way, or?
Yeah, she hands her a pad with like ticket information for, boarding the shuttle to Upentar and says, go that way. You want to take the elevator. It'll be 3 doors down after that. You can't miss it. Although the flight is kind of long, so I would recommend you buy refreshments beforehand. They're overpriced if you try to buy them on the flight itself. The harmonizers may be intact with investigative questions. You may have to return here to give testimony, although as this place is under FIS and not Starfleet jurisdiction, your asylum will still be in effect.
All right, good. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Captain. Sorry for the trouble. Hopefully I can help figure out what's going on.
It is quite all right. And once she is out of sight, I am going to go up to Captain Penn's office because, boy howdy, am I confused.
New scene as Serena goes to meet with Penn. And final scene, I'll say.
Captain, or excuse me, Admiral, congratulations on your promotion, first and foremost. I'm sure you're sick of hearing it, but we all have to say it.
Yeah, what can I help you with?
Yeah, so did you I don't know how to ask this correctly. We have to have Kobuk investigate the matter further when he comes back, but did you how you say did you order a hit on someone?
It just has a blank expression.
Yeah, so I didn't think so either. The incident with the hyperspace being located in your bar, correct?
Ah, yeah.
So yeah, she refused contact with anyone with Starfleet. She claims a member of Starfleet in a gold uniform attacked her and tried to kill her, and that she fought back in self-defense. I gave her temporary asylum on the grounds that she was seemingly actually assaulted and that she needed someplace secure, and I sent her down to the planet pending a more lengthy review process, see if it's permanent or not. But I believe this raises many questions that we must investigate, namely, who ordered someone in Starfleet to make this attack? And if it wasn't Starfleet, why did someone in a Starfleet uniform perform this attack?
So, GM,
Yeah.
through the reports from everywhere, I would know this wasn't actual Starfleet personnel that attacked her. It was people in fake uniforms.
At current, Haifa's report, presuming Haifa doesn't abbreviate it or something, or anything like that. The report would have been that they were scanned to be wearing false uniforms. Whether or not they're Starfleet or even Federation citizens has not been determined. But they weren't wearing Starfleet uniforms, and they weren't using Starfleet weapons. They were using mass drivers.
Well, we can't confirm who they are specifically, but they will wear counterfeit uniforms and not using our standard equipment.
Well, I believe that confirms that. I must say, sir, I am very relieved to learn that Starfleet is not so bold as to order hits on the station. And, for further reference, if you ever want to order a hit on someone, please do it in a location that is not here.
I'll point to for 2 threat. I'm going to point out to Serena that the FAS is aware of the organization notice Section 31.
Yeah.
That does do
No,
this
no.
sort of thing.
She was making a joke about that.
Okay.
That was a bit of humor. No, but Captain, this raises a second question of if Starfleet did not execute them, then who was working to try and frame Starfleet like this?
We've got a couple of ideas. We'll figure out more once we get the... I shouldn't say interrogation, that sounds a bit... Our pleasant conversations with the person we've recovered from the fleeing ship.
That sounds more threatening, not less. It's called an interrogation.
I know what I said.
Chime.
Enter. But yes, it's essentially, if I was going to kill someone, Serena, I've got the reputation of just doing it myself, so I don't need to order a hit. If that makes you feel any better.
Well, better is a strong word, but yes, it does reassure me.
Just have to do it publicly, so.
Commander Jaishu, I do not believe we've been formally introduced. She'll extend an appendage. Panda said a great many things about you. I am so glad to learn that you are no longer kidnapped.
Serena, give me insight security. Difficulty. Or medicine. Difficulty 4.
Exactly.
People reading as a focus?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
Come on, not Jaishu.
Difficulty 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, okay. 1... a 4 threat. I'll just spend 3 momentum. And I'll spend 3 momentum, and then I'll give you 4 threat.
That math doesn't add up.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
3 threat. I said the wrong thing.
Okay.
With that roll,
I still did not succeed. I'm very bad at this task.
yeah, the most I'll say is you get the same feeling off Jaishu that you got off of Serpentia. It's that same level of confusion that you're having with her body language. You're getting thrown by the way she's moving, or the skin tone, her hair, certain things. Like all these little things are throwing you off. It's like you can't get a good bead on her. Which I will note to you, that's not a problem you have with like Panda, Thralic, or even Haifa. Like Haifa specifically might even like you can read these aliens. Some aliens you just seem to be struggling with for some reason.
Yeah. I will offer a hand to shake. And
Oh God, it's a hand. No, she shakes.
Yeah. And she's just going to assume this is some weird hang-up because I haven't interacted with many Orions before, so I'm just going to be polite and assume that, it's me misunderstanding their cultural context of how they look and act and nothing else. I must say I'm very relieved to learn that you got back safely. To know that Admiral Penn's fiancé had been killed on FIS soil, no less. Oh, it would have brought me no end of shame. I hope to make your acquaintance in the future.
I look forward to have a long working relationship with you, Lieutenant Captain of the Stars. That's actually what I've come here with the Rear Admiral about, to start organizing the Admiralty staff and see how much involvement or how much burden we want to be to distill their fleet, really. In fact, I mean, depending on the Admiral's decision, we may not have to work together, so you can work on other things than the station. But that's his decision, obviously. I'm just letting you know, because, these are things we have to consider.
Well, the FIS will be completely accommodating of any decisions you make. You are free to govern yourselves as we are to govern ourselves. I'm sure you two have a lot to talk about, so I'll leave you to it then. And she leaves because discussing bureaucracy sounds like her nightmare, especially with Penn's and Penn's wife. She's out.
Like, if you wanted to do that, you could have joined Parliament. It's like, no, I joined the Navy to get away from that nonsense. That's not my role. And with that, Jaishu takes a seat across from Penn and says, well, time to find out who's on staff.
Yeah, I've got a few ideas, but I've got nothing locked down yet. I'm not exactly sure how I want to build it out.
I'm sure we'll figure it out together. And with that will be the end of the episode. So, promotions happened. A strange attack. Prisoner in tow and an asylum seeker. Mysteries abound in the following season, if you will, as the first adventure basically took up all 12 episodes of the first season, but whatever, that's fine. We'll follow up and find out exactly how Halanak Station is going to look into this and precisely what it is they're looking for. But for now, for all of you watching, thank you very much for watching. For all of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And we'll see you again next time. Oh.
Don't have my fiance betray me, please.
Too late.
I don't think that's your fiance.
Neither do I now.